the Chelsea.
World's first 32-megapixel pop-up selfie camera.
1 year ago today, PUBG Mobile went online in over 200 countries. On the 1 year anniversary of the game, we're here with you to witness the honor and the glory. The anniversary Royale Pass will go live as scheduled with the usual variety of rewards and a load of anniversary exclusive items such as the brilliant anniversary outfit, the retro anniversary set, and the L&Q Chicken M762 finish. Don't miss out. PUBG Mobile, be the one. UC spent in Royale Pass will be fully refunded as your Royale Pass ranks up so you can buy next season's pass. Royale Pass. You deserve it.
Zombie Darkest Night, the newest mode in the zombie universe, is here. This time, the rules are different. No more parachuting, as players will be placed at random locations on the map when the match begins, and there is no single winner. Players must work with their teammates to spend one long night in the match and stay alive until the sun comes up. Waves and waves of zombies will spawn during each of the 3 foggy periods at night, and supplies should only be scavenged when the fog fades. The main objective is not to defeat other players, though this doesn't mean they are harmless. Players may need to work with other teams when necessary, but should also watch their backs in case the Fragile Alliance goes south. This will be a unique experience for every player involved. This new mode also comes with a passive skill for every player. Understanding these skills will be the key to staying alive in this long night. Can you ride out the night?
They came in really smart all together and fighting all over the place.
Here we go in, this player's right next to me, he's just going to go for the spray down. Looked like he was trying to get the down player first, but never mind.
The push does come around this side, does he spot him? Yes, he does, but he goes down as well.
Thrown out for the bottom right, he's also in a bit of an engagement, but everything is happening in this building. We've got bodies on the floor everywhere. 7 is going to be able to get it down. Can he manage to pick off one? There's Kratos towards the left, goes for the flank, picks up one more. It's a 1 versus 2. Is there any more that he can do? Health is so limited.
This is where the TPP advantage becomes real. You can stand behind that tree, you can see them pushing around towards you, and in the end there's not a whole lot more you can do more often. That does never help it, and he will go down.
7, one of the last standing players of Vikendi. And oh no, the vehicle
just gonna be out of here, push out, it spots out one more. Down to half HP, can he get him? The 1v2 already got down the first guy, and he has one more player down low, and he gets him.
Pain Esports suffering to coming soon at the moment. That is going to be Team Gravity. We've got Mortal who comes back down. That is just on side. He managed to take down Mortal.
Jump in, shoot it, and there you go, finally.
There was no chance at all. Oh, it looked like, was that the play zone? That's
yeah.
Twister starting to move around, but making himself really vulnerable. Got a tree to hide at, but the zone moving in is going to prevent it. Eliminated. 2 teams left. Skull.
And exactly as you put it right there, could not be said any better.
Oh, we've got a huge engagement at the moment. Lord, they're just quickly eliminated.
Look at these laser tracers, they're just coming in with these guys, they're on the hunt.
Soul possibly could have ended up winning that fight. It was very tough positioning, but oh my god, that hurts.
Killing factor when it came into the guys on the other side, but here the push comes in and Skull loses a player early.
King holding that door back. Trance, though, managed to get the fire down on 1 player.
He has to move on for the board as well. This circle, 1 tick and you're dead. 1 tick and you're dead, and he goes down. There's no reason for them to take anything aggressive. Now 1 player that will go down.
Casualties being sustained at the moment for them, but ACR. Oh, that's hurting. Player on the floor. There's going to be a second right in front. Need to go for the reload here. There is a teammate beside them in the zone, and they're still having that fight at the moment.
The push coming up here. Ash in game 1 had 8 kills by himself, and now all of Apex, they're pushing 4 guys together. They
was still up. Viper in a bit of trouble. He is going to get down.
He knows he's down there. It's just a matter of them spotting him out. It does get the damage applied. No kills coming in just yet, and he actually does get the first one in return.
Oh, brilliant shot from Swag. He's pushing. He's pushing right now. So
he's going for the flush player. He's going for the flush instead of the kill, and he loses because of it.
Hello everyone and welcome to day 3 at the PUBG Mobile Club Open. We are doing the Spring Split Regional Group Stage. We are covering India and we've got a hell of a lot of good matches coming right up. My name is Zoot, I'm joined by Toby and we'll be taking you through the games today. How's it going, Toby?
Good. I'm excited to see today. Now we've had all 4 groups play. A through D all have been on the battlefield in this round. And now we get to scramble things up. So we've seen all the teams, now we've seen what they're capable of doing, but now we're changing bits and pieces here and there.
Yes.
And some teams that might have struggled in the first 2 days, well, this could be the break for them where they don't go up against some of the teams that have been sort of their confrontation, and now they go up against teams they can deal with easier. Could also go the other way around.
Indeed, and I think story of the weekend so far. This time I'm not going to do the whole cursing thing. It doesn't matter, okay? Because I've been watching the streams and people are talking about Team Soul, but I'm sorry, they didn't really have a good day yesterday at all.
You can be honest about that.
They're coming in looking for some good results today. I don't think they really broke a top 8 or anything yesterday.
No, I think the top was 8th.
And and it's a team that's expected to be at least taking down some top 3s throughout the weekend. So we'll see what they can do. We have got Team India that is playing today. They actually managed to surpass Hydra on points narrowly, just by a couple. So they're definitely... I was excited about seeing Hydra going versus Soul, but now I'm just excited to see Team India to see if they can sustain what they're doing. We have got the points, though, up on the board. This is the structure that we have. So if you come in 16th, as though we have 16 teams in each lobby, you don't get any points unless you start fragging out.
That is it's a brutal point system in the sense that these top placements, I mean, pretty much just, well, you could say 6th through first.
Yeah.
It just separates you. You need to get those placements. Kills are good. They're complementary. But you need the placements.
Exactly, and as we've been discussing through the weekend, we've got 32 teams, 24 are going to make it out. It's not so much about individual groups coming top 6 in the group, it's coming top 24 overall out of all of the groups together.
Exactly.
So you want to get yourself up, and those are the sweet spot areas. Here we've got the games, and look at that, we've got Sanhok that has been playing today. We've been starved of it all weekend. Now we get to see it up as game 1, but we will finish off with 2 Erangels, which is, again, the theme of the weekend.
And I like it. I mean, we haven't, the teams, I guess you can say, haven't had a chance to go back-to-back on a map. Like to go, okay, what went wrong in the last game? Let's fix it in the next one. Only on Erangel have they done that, and they have been changing up things for those games. But every time we've done Vikendi straight into Miramar, straight into Erangel, it's just been extremely tough for them to really take anything from one game and bring it into the next one.
Yeah, indeed. And you can see here our match 9s through 12. That is the time that you can see it in. And I think it's probably about time now that we talk about Sanhok. First time seeing it this weekend. What are your expectations?
Chaos.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
we've seen some chaos already. Now the thing is that for these guys, one thing, third person, you don't want it to be that big of a deal, but it is, especially on a map with so much cover. Everything on Sanhok is foliage, foliage, foliage all over the place. Here you can see all the teams participating today. It is, correct me if I'm wrong, Group A and Group C.
That's right,
playing. And you can see the teams there coordinated. But no, going back to Sanhok, I mean, it's just, there's so much foliage. Where on Miramar, you can probably scout up forward about 800 yards or 800 meters, if that's what you want to say. Here, for the most part, not more than 100 to 150 at most. So you're way more up close and personal, and it's going to confront, like, force all these teams into way more fights.
So we've had maps that, due to the size, it's kind of allowed us to not always see much action in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Are you expecting there to be some heavy blows taken in the first, maybe even the first couple of minutes?
I think since we are going into this map dry, in the sense that there's no one else having played it so far, it could be chaos early. We'll have to wait and see the score points here as well.
With Team India looking absolutely phenomenal. Coming soon as well. A bit of a slow start yesterday, but they just ramped it up and up and up. And they are, I think, the top fraggers of 38 on the board. And we got Hydra didn't even turn out to be the top fraggers. Evil got 29. They surpassed them on day 1. Team India and Coming Soon just looking absolutely unbelievable.
Also impressive to see the Coming Soon and Team India playing in the same lobby yesterday. Both managing to surpass and take the top. I mean, that's 2 teams that has been fragging out massively. These 2 teams alone had more than 1 full server wiped over 4 games. That's pretty insane.
Yeah, absolutely nuts. And here we can see people going down the roster a little further. And I'm still,
close it is.
Yeah, I'm still not seeing Team Soul on this occasion, though. I know, but again, with their bad plays, what does it mean for Team Soul in order to perform well today, given they had such a bad day compared to our expectations.
Literally what you just said. They just got to perform well today.
They just have to.
I mean, that's just
because they've got next weekend.
Yeah, they're 1/3 of the way through, and we know they're a team that are able to pull off big numbers. So I'm not scared for them at all. And you see them sitting there at 37 points. We saw how close it is. You can sit at 23. I mean, technically they're in right now, but it's just 20 points up to, I believe, something like 10th.
Yeah.
And it's 30 points for win, right? So one good game. It's all it's going to take to bounce them way up there.
Doesn't matter if you're 16 3 times today. Just get that number 1 as well. And then we are moving down to the likes of Pain Retribution. ACR, who they might be last on the board, but I actually thought they grew through the day yesterday.
They changed up things.
They had a nightmare at the beginning, first couple of games, but definitely some credit to them. We saw some improvement. And that's what we need to see from all the teams, really, is you need to be adapting as the days go on, and each game by game, don't have your static strategies.
Yeah, they for sure did improve. That's no doubt about it.
I do want to give a shout out as well to Vivo, the sponsor here for the PUBG Mobile Club Open. And again, we want to direct you over to the website where you can find all of the information on the tournament. It is clubopen.pubgmobile.com.
And not only info, you could also, if you didn't get to watch the games yesterday and the day before, all the VODs are in there. So you can go and find all the videos, all the matches that you should have missed them. Go on and watch them over. Then also you can jump in there and see all the other regions that are playing, because there's a ton of games being played these days.
Yeah, indeed. And wherever you are watching, guys, be it Twitch, be on YouTube, hit that follow or that subscribe button, and you'll be notified when we're going live with more content. And again, you can expect these games, especially if you're watching the India region, interested in watching more, they'll be starting up again next Friday as we go through the last 3 days of this section of the tournament.
Yeah, but going back to Sanhok, I think one of the key things, because we talk about the dynamic of a map, we will most likely see some of those, oh my god, we landed on top of each other. There's no other way than fighting it through. They will do that. But then once those early teams are eliminated, or just players eliminated, I think because it's third person, because people are so scared to make that aggressive move around, they'll take it extremely slow. People will be sitting further out on the edges. It's a smaller map. You don't have to move that far. This whole dying to the blue thing won't be as big of a factor.
You say that now.
Yeah, I do say that now, but I hope it won't be at least. But we'll, of course, have to wait and see as the game is now beginning.
That's it. That's right, Toby. The flight has taken off. We got players dropping onto the floor. Got Brawl going over onto the smaller island. Any conclusions that you're drawing here?
Not really. I mean, we got 2 teams, maybe 3 teams on the southwestern island. I mean, let alone the fact that the eastern island is the bigger one, the main island, I guess you can say. There's also a statistic chance that the circle more often than not goes over there too. And you can see, well, pretty much right now it's actually a pretty even split in the sense that it's centered, but still the landmass majority is on the eastern island. That river down there, we talked about it yesterday, even on Vikendi and Erangel too. Once that river is in play, you do not want to get caught out there.
And this circle couldn't be any more inconsequential at this stage.
Oh yeah,
it's so central that I think right now it just means that players are going to have a little bit more time not to worry about things, because they can just be static in hopefully the compounds they've got that are secure and they don't have too many neighboring players there. Loot up and then worry about being proactive maybe in about 2 to 4 minutes time. Yeah,
I mean, we pretty much have everyone inside the circle already, so it's going to be up to the guys here to figure how center do they want to go. Do they want to sit around on the edges trying to find some fights later on? Because there's, I mean, I guess you can say at least on Sanhok, there's some advantage in coming in late. The fact that more often than not, you have to always check behind you, of course, no matter how late you go, because there's always going to be that one solo snake behind you. But playing without anyone behind you is going to give you such a big advantage. Sanhok is more of a reaction shoot, like close quarter fight map, where if you can avoid having to focus on a full 180, then yeah, that's going to benefit you a lot when it comes to taking those fights.
I'm going to see carrying from the wait, what?
Satan!
Excuse me?
He just...
He's just gone. He's just gone. He's out.
He fell into the cave. I think he tried to jump in the water, but he missed it. And then when he did get down because he hit a rock, he fell into the water after that and drowned. That is a sad way to start off the day.
Maybe he just had something to do. Like he had quickly needed to tidy something away. And it's like,
guys,
I'm just gonna peace out the server for a second. Just don't worry about this.
We did just kill Satan, so I mean, it's got to be pretty harmonious from this point out, right? I mean, Satan is gone, so now it's all joy and laughter.
But hopefully for the team, they can see the joy and laughter in that, and they can carry on and do well. It's a little bit of an early hindrance, but let's try to put it past us, although I'm sure we won't put it past them later on.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
here's our sole players as well. We have not seen what we wanted to from them at the moment. I want to give my shout out though to Viper as well. I know a lot of people talk about Mortal, but Viper is the guy who is rated the strongest player at the India series. We've seen a lot of fragging from him. We saw some great 1v2s from
good
Mortal.
stuff yesterday as well.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, it feels like him and Mortal have really got crazy output. Which leads me to another question. I don't want to take anything away from Ronak and Oace or anything, but in a PUBG team, do you want 4 players that are just fragging out constantly, or do you need someone there who's calling the shots, who's be able to provide some support?
You need an in-game leader.
Yeah.
In-game leaders, it's very team dependent on how they structure around it. Is the team captain the one that himself goes out front to try and take charge and scout compounds, or does he rely on his teams to provide him with the info that he then can make decisions off of? It's been very different how teams have done it, and well, I mean, I'm not sure exactly how it works within the Seoul team, but clearly they've had great success doing things. Just because it didn't work yesterday, I wouldn't want them to start changing everything up now, just because they're in a different tournament. Give it another go, see if it can come back and work together today. I mean, 8 of the teams here are different. Could be that this is going to be the day they just start fragging out.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe wake up on a different side of the bed can cause some goodness to happen. Got ISO here in Paradise. Feels like Paradise at the moment. They've got no one disturbing them.
Very calm.
It is incredibly calm. It's incredibly calm in Paradise.
Calm. I said that there might be some confrontations early. All we've seen is Satan killed in a cave. So so no real action so far. But of course, we do know one thing. Soon, and we've talked about this so many times before, that we are only delaying the inevitable.
Yes.
I mean, these guys have to die. A lot of people have to die.
Somebody is going to have to.
And the longer we stall it, the less space these guys will have to take those battles on. And once there's a lack of space, it's going to be all about those crazy confrontations. Now, one thing that's a bit surprising here, I don't very often see vehicles used on Sanhok, simply because the map is so small. But the Tuk-Tuk coming up the hill here, and Max, just 3 players alive, having a confrontation with NIP.
Oh god, this is really, really nasty for NIP. They were one of the winners on day 1 of the last map, but they go against Maximus. They have actually managed to return firepower kind of successfully, and these little ridges in the hill are allowing them to hide behind, and maybe Carry can also revive his friend, but now 2 of the NI players go down. Carry moving forward does get himself a down, but still could be under a lot of fire. Does he want to finish the frag off and risk getting an extra point, or is he going to be a little more cautious as to where the other Maximus players are going?
He has a knocked teammate, and also his last teammate is not near, so he needs to focus on getting the rest up. Omega's doing the aggressive push on forward, spots him out too, and that's going to be the knock and finish off, most likely coming in just a short moment's time. We can see the last teammate though, he's up above in the hill. Prince is trying to make the run on down now.
Oh, I mean, he has got a lot of work to do if he wants to try and save any of his teammates, or also just make it so it's more likely not to go flat out in 16th. Yeah, it looks like he wants to push rock. Like, I respect the aggression at the moment.
It is just Krita remaining down the hill. I mean, Krita, Kritakia, if that's how you pronounce it, all by himself down the hill. He's just going to run around trying to see if he can get some points here. Smart play by him. He knows that there's no safety in taking that confrontation by himself. He doesn't have any of his players finished off yet. So wise decision-making coming in from him, and a bit of a misplay from NIP earlier.
He was just using that vehicle, and they just walked right into the gunfire.
Yeah.
Now, Prince, I mean, I think there was a moment of hesitation, probably some discussion taking place while he was moving forward, and it was like, okay, do you want to go for the play because we know there's some players down, or do we want you to just isolate yourself a little bit from anybody?
Yeah. I mean, they got caught out, and they traded 1-for-1 in the beginning. They were up against a 3-man team, so to begin with, things were pretty even out. Only thing was that when they had that player knocked, I think it was Navi, he pushed his way up while his teammate was rezzing. He's all by himself. His teammate is not in a position to help him should that firefight escalate, and he was called out 1v2. That is just an over-aggression that he didn't have to do. Hold the angle, wait for that teammate to get the res up, then you can push up together. It's those small things, really small things. It's communication-based. It's how much you've played together with one another based as well. And that's what separates the good from the best.
Yeah, indeed. And we did have the circle going a little bit. Viper's just gone down to the play zone. We've just picking up Viper quite a lot. Is it? Can we draw anything from that? Yeah, in Circle 1, that's not the most worrying thing. Is there some self-damage, or did he take some damage, and was it...
I guess it's actually Circle 2, but still, it makes no sense to me.
He may have taken some damage in gunfire and then happened to have been in the play zone and it, just being like.
I mean, even it's early.
I'm making up
so
some excuses for him at the moment.
if there's teammates around, he will get rest. So, and we haven't seen him get finished yet. So I would assume he's back up on his feet.
Yeah.
But that was. I mean, we didn't get to see what happened, so we can't really draw any conclusions.
That was unusual.
But pretty interesting.
Team India top of the scoreboard at the moment. They've had a fair amount of peace in the first 5-6 minutes, and now making a little bit of a movement, try to reposition and get themselves well into the circle. Maybe find a compound that they can hold onto and persevere.
You can see the Team India players, some of them with level 3 gear already. They've been fortunate with the Kevlar helmets, and it's been paying off. I mean, honestly, they have been the team to aggress. They have been the ones to say we're not shy to take a fight if we have to. And well, I mean, now they have the Kevlar and utility to do so. So why would they want for anything else? Already sitting in first place, and they're looking to get even better points.
Maximus have taken some injuries. They'll recover. Certainly doing better than the teams that they were going up against earlier. Coming soon. They had a very good finish yesterday, actually. I believe they got the last win of the day on Erangel.
Yeah.
And they were, well, I think
they had a
also
win
the top
in that
fraggers
game
as well.
and a second place in the previous ones.
Yeah.
They had second place and a win in the 2 final Erangel games. They get to play 2 more Erangel games today. So hope to see them put up some good numbers.
Definitely. I don't see Viper among these 3 players. I hope he's...
I'm pretty sure he's up, though, because
Surely.
we didn't see him get finished. And by this time, he would have bled out had he not been rested. So
I cross my fingers for you, Viper. ACR, though, you can see are fairly close to Seoul. I know ACR have been struggling a little bit, so looking down at the sort of bottom right, that cluster, ACR want to be careful. They've usually been very, very passive, so I doubt they're going to want to initiate a fight, but they're certainly going to have to be ready to retaliate.
And not only that, but they're moving around in the area of Quarry. I mean, if you want to talk open areas on Sanhok, because there aren't a whole lot of them, that will probably be one of the most open areas. And if you're trying to force 4 teams into fighting each other all at the same time there, it's just a matter of who gets to see who first.
We have seen Trance from Team India.
Yeah, already active.
Opened up a little bit. They're going versus Team Gravity, it seems. Team Gravity also have been struggling a bit there on the last page of the points board, I believe. Trance trying to see if he can finish the job, or if there might be another teammate scampering towards them to get that revival.
You can see they're just waiting around the corner. They're playing it so smart, and they're really, really close to each other. Trance is kind of tunnel visioned on the guy he knocked down the hill, Dexy, on the other side. But there are other teammates for TG. They're close by.
We just saw another Maximus player go down as well, so there's only one Maximus player still alive. So we'll just look out on the scoreboards to see if those tombstones come out, because we could have our first team out in map 1 today.
I'll correct you and say there are 2 Maximus players alive.
But there are 2.
Yeah.
But the one got down.
Now
he was
there
on
are
his
2
knees.
because there were 3.
No, there were
He
2
rested
down.
both of them earlier.
I will not give up in this argument. I only saw
You
2 on
see
the board.
2 right
Protagga. Is it? Okay.
Are you going to give up on your argument now?
No.
They're both on their
Even when
feet.
the evidence is right in front of my eyes, I refuse to give
The
up.
observers literally said, "You are wrong, soon."
It's quiet time, Toby. Okay, I digress. I am wrong, but we have got God's Reign, actually. They're coming under fire a little bit. Axe is, looks like he's just about to be going down, surely.
I mean, it's first knock. Should be able to get the rest up. You can see Manos taking
But there was
his
2
time to
Maximus
figure out.
players alive.
Yes. As I was
So I was right.
No.
Okay, we should stop.
Jesus. In any case, seems like Team India, they decided to disengage from that one. Makes perfect sense. Again, he was sitting there, he was holding the angle. He wanted to see if somebody's running over to get the res on up. First knock, though, they didn't have to stress it. They knew he was probably going to hold that angle. Didn't want to give up any info. And they said, you know what? We didn't get the info. We don't need that kill right now. We know we can fight. We can take that one later. Let's move further into the circle and get ready for the next one. Smart disengage from Team India.
And Daku, I remember their early encounters with Hydra in day 1, where it wasn't so pleasant for them, but all alive and kicking.
And if you're Team Seoul today, I mean, Team India, the first 2 games, both on Vikendi and Sanhok, were their sort of butchers. And now we'll see if they run into each other once again, because Seoul, I mean, they've been playing pretty scare-free, I guess you say. They haven't really been too scared of doing anything aggressive. But if they go into a fight early, even if they do get the first knock and they see it's Team India, do you think that's going to be them disengaging from it, or are they going to go full on no matter who it is?
I'd imagine they have the confidence at their level to not feel like they have to disengage unless the situation means, okay, someone else might be coming behind. Some other factor that would make them do it rather than respect. There's going to be a level of respect, but I think they're going to trust themselves to be able to be at least equal in those
Also, we saw in game 1 how as soon as Seoul started fighting and they started taking casualties, 3 other teams just sprinted over there to third party it. I mean, you want to take out those top teams early. That's going to give you such a bigger chance of winning fights later.
Here's Prince, the last man standing of NIP. He certainly wants to stay prone and stay out of sight. Orb there, getting himself... Oh, RGB getting himself a frag there on the skull. Might be able to find another head in a moment. There's just so much foliage. As you were mentioning right at the beginning, it's hard to get that really long extended vision.
Yeah, I mean, you have so many bushes and trees everywhere now. We do have the X-ray available here, so we can see a little more, but their vision sure is obscured by trees and foliage all over the place.
Yeah, and Prince is actually just in the zone as of where he is. Orb also looking okay. It's not going to be long until we see where the next circle is going, and that surely will raise some drama.
Look at the south here. 1, 2,
oh my
3,
God.
4, 5, 6, 7 teams within 1 kilometer.
That's
from west to east.
Crazy.
I mean, that is so. And if the next circle goes far north, it's going to be a bloodbath.
It's going to be reminding me of the swamp battle that we had yesterday.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the issue with these maps. There's so many weird terrains to maneuver around, and once you're shot, you try to push out the other way, and if everybody does the same thing, it just causes these really tough situations.
There we go. Who's going to be hitting them shots better? And Maximus, I think they're aware of the footsteps and the sounds around them, but there's not that long to react. You've got a minute, less than a minute until the circle starts closing again. We've got gunfire going off around the map already, but I think we're going to be hearing things everywhere as the circle already getting pretty small.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have that far to go, and they are on this short end, I guess you can say, of the circle, so it doesn't close that fast on their side. You can see the edge of it on the minimap in the top right corner there. So they don't have that far to go. Should be alright for them to stick around for a little while longer, especially considering that they're pretty... I mean, there's a pretty big chance they're outnumbered should they go on a straight-on fight.
Yeah, I mean, God's Reign outside of the circle. Was they outside the circle just there, looking to break their way in?
Yeah, they're trying to get around the compound.
Okay, they don't want to be hanging out there for too long, but they obviously know there's some obstacles in their way. Team Gravity, though, in front of us, they've been surrounding the Maximus players a little bit to an extent, and it's going to be time to start pushing in. Maximus going to do everything they can to hold on. We still have 16 teams alive. Playzone is going to take down one of the God's Reign players. It's just it's KK who's alive, and he's looking to delay things to the absolute last second, I think, with his meds.
What they wanted was to try and see if they could force these two teams into taking fights before they do anything, but it's just been stalled for so long. Oh, that nade is going to hit the tree.
He got there.
He actually got the knock anyway.
Oh.
That's an impressive throw right there.
Now there's definitely one Maximus player still left alive. The Team Gravity guys, 2 of them pushing forward. They've got a third coming with them. They're going to finish the down. Surely there's going to be another lurking. Omega, what can you do to prevent yourself from making your team 16th?
If he had a nade right now, he does 1v4.
Oh my God, oh my
if
God.
He can get it
it's just off angle.
Molotov as well. Throw it on the left side. That one is going to get one knock, I would assume. Where's the explosion? There we go. Goes off a bit short. That would have been a triple nade had he thrown it on the left side of the rock instead of the right. But in the end, he goes down. He got 2 knocks though.
2 knocks, not bad at all, but unfortunately, is that going to convert into kills? It might do if the zone comes in.
It might, yeah, exactly. The circle just pushed past them, and we're at circle 4 now, so I don't think you're even able to rest people in the
when you're that one player alive, is like, how do you tell your teammates, I'm picking you out of all the other guys that are still down?
Yeah.
It's like, actually, you're my favorite.
Exactly. We do see Twister going down now. Rip, they're taking a lot of casualties as well as they try pushing on through. We saw many teams were down south here, and it's only going to get worse as all of them start moving forward.
Has Prince got what it takes? Can he throw a grenade? Has he got some utility to work with? He's chucked 1. I don't think he got anything from it, though, and now all of a sudden Orb are going to be aware of that. We can see frags going out all over the map, actually. We've now got 14 teams remaining. That incendiary looks like... Is that what took down RGB?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really do a whole lot to get the confirmation and the kill. He's outside in the bullet. Once that circle connects, it's going to start chunking a lot harder. He's going to have to make that run eventually. 1v4 is going to be super hard, but you see Daku now under plenty of fire as well. ISO making their way on in, and they're getting tons of kills with it.
I still haven't seen Prince go down, but ISO now 2 Daku players falling. There's a lad just down by the tree. Lancer trying to open up a little bit against Ninja. And we've got some proning there just by the wall. As that is, well, as close as he's going to get to just getting out of range. All of them lying down. They need to rest.
Yeah, neither of these guys are inside the next circuit. That nade could be right
Is that
on
going to hit?
money. It does not blows up on the wrong side of the wall, fortunately, for the guys proning outside.
Lancer is going to back off a little bit, but he might get re-engaged Ninja, though he's pretty low on health, so he needs to make sure those early shots are going to land. Lancer, despite being very high on health himself, he just wants to get out. He's the last player alive, and the teammates are calling us, like, go survive. We need those points. Points mean prizes.
Gotta get the placement points, Ninja. What are you doing? Now you're gonna go down. That's not smart.
Oh.
That's a bad calculation on how much damage the blue does, because his teammates, they knew what was up. They just started sprinting immediately, but he was like, no, I can do this. No, you cannot.
I think one of them stopped to try and heal up a little more. The Orb have got a couple of players that have been down for the moment.
Prince, we just saw going down there as well.
Oh, really?
So that is going to be NIP out in 13th place.
To be honest, didn't do too badly there, considering what else was happening on the map.
Soul is in the blue. Look how far east they are. They're maneuvering way around. I mean, they're hearing all these fights happening, and they know they're in a rough position, so they have to get in, and at the same time avoid all these fights, because if they get caught out in the blue while trying to take a firefight, it's just going to chunk them so hard that there's no way in hell they're ever going to get in.
Yeah, Playzone is actually getting more casualties at the moment. Another ISO players eliminated. Mortal gets taken down by the Playzone, actually. Not what I was expecting to see.
Two Soul players down.
Yeah, coming soon, also getting some frags. And again, the Playzone taking way too much part in the kill feed. Ronak, though, taking down one of the Coming Soon players. We've got ACR up here. They're with Coming Soon, and there's going to be a little bit of a fight occurring. That smoke definitely obscuring a lot of vision. I dare say ACR have a slightly favorable position on the higher ground. But the thing is, are they going to be the ones to react? And to, say react, to be proactive and go for the shots?
That's the big question. You see everyone here on the hillside trying to get some sort of cover where there is none, so throwing some smokes around and doing everything they can to stay put. You see Darko Lancer, the last remaining player, down in the side of boot camp, trying to see if he can deliver some damage up the hill. But right now it's some of these other teams that are doing the heavy work.
That grenade there would have been so good if they had that utility, if to work with, or took that initiative. Sometimes you don't see anything, and then the smoke is like, well, if I can't see them, I'm not going to go for it. Well, sometimes it's the best time to go for it.
True. We've seen that be the case more often than not. Now, Brawl, they're making the one on forward. They had a somewhat slumber day one, and now they're starting to get in on the kill feed and secure themselves a top 8 spot too.
Orb's been hurting a lot. Brawl also taking down some Team India players.
Yeah.
We're expecting a lot of good things from them today, considering what they showed us yesterday. The Brawl is fragging out at the moment, and I know they were almost like the laughingstock on day one, but this is excellent fragging from them at the moment.
But as you can see in the kill feed there as well, they are fighting two teams at the same time, and that can turn to be a bit too much for them to handle. This nade, though, should it explode? Close! Oh, Jonathan just exactly survives it.
Did all of the ACR players go down? Because they had that favorable position going against Coming Soon, but I don't think they did anything with it. And eventually Coming Soon, they recovered. They threw their utility, and they were looking better. And they're in the top 7.
See how sneaky peekily these guys are making their way on forward. When you're prone in third person, you do get that little lifted vision over the grass. It makes it a lot easier to see forward, but now...
Orb's just gone out, I think.
Yeah, but they get blown up. We do stuff coming soon, though. They were in third place overall coming into this day, and they're still alive up on the hill.
Lancer. Oh, wait, is that his team eliminated just, or has he just gone out of view?
It's him out. Sixth place.
Understood. All right, so Team Godlike still got 4 players alive. Got Nova King from Brawl. They've been getting they got 4 frags. I know the amount of downs that they've been getting has been ridiculous, but maybe there's been some recoveries as well.
Brawl out in 5th place there. Now we have Coming Soon once again have to do something. The same thing here. Godlike needs to make that run on forward, but look at this terrain they're maneuvering around it.
Can they push forward in this? Got Magic. Getting completely gunned down. Now Coming Soon with 3 players up, Torpedo being one of them. We've actually seen quite a lot from White, actually. He's definitely been taking a big part of this. Team India and Skull.
The 1st and 3rd place teams in Team India and Coming Soon on our screens right now. Coming Soon has 9 kills already, so win or not, that's impressive games to start off with.
These are all Group C teams too.
Yeah. Skull had a win yesterday. They actually, all these 3 teams had wins yesterday.
Yep. Each one, I can actually tell you, each Skull winning map 2, Coming Soon map 4, Team India map 1.
Yeah.
So one on Vikendi.
Triple chicken dinner final we see right here, or finale, I guess, of map number 1 on the day. 15 seconds to go until the circle is going to start closing, and you can see they all have to make their way over towards Team India.
Here comes the snakiness. Who's going to... why?
Does he see him? Does he see him? Is it a crate? Is it a corpse?
Oh, he might get spotted. Wow, I could see him in a second, it sounds like.
How can
He
he
has, but
see
the zone there as well. There's some shots coming out. Why? Is he going to get himself a double? I think he realizes there's another.
I don't think he knows where he is, but
He
now
can't
he's
see-
starting
Oh!
to take blue damage. You gotta get in, YY. You gotta get in.
So many each player from each team is being eliminated here. Now Torpedo's going to be able to take down Kratos. Another Team India eliminating Skull. Now Torpedo also gets the finish onto Kratos, but Torpedo is all alone for coming soon. He's got 2 of his teammates that are down. They're just bleeding out for the moment, so that'll leave 2 over for each of the other teams.
1v1v1.
I think the White is going to go and get that information now. You were talking about this with me yesterday. It's like if someone's down and they're not going to get picked up, they're going to be able to get that intel. White will get finished off, but that is super valuable information for the teammate.
Now I can pretty much say he's proning on my corpse. I mean, there's not better info you can give. Team India, look at the snake coming up. He's trying to get the info here as well, but you can see Torpedo, he just cannot shoot over the edge.
It's a 1v1v1.
Yep.
Algis from Team India. I mean, is the high ground going to be of great benefit at the moment? The grenade just drops down, but it might have fallen behind Torpedo. Again, in the Star Challenge, having phenomenal performance himself. And he's looking to do good in 2019. It's definitely YYY who's struggling the most with that zone closing in on him. But he doesn't really want to get up and stand up.
He's been taking way too much damage from the blue
that's
already.
hurting.
Look at this, he has to keep on going. He had full HP when the circle started closing, and he's down to like 10%. That is not good at all, and he goes down because of it.
Skull, they go down in 3rd place. Now it's just Algis, they want to get up, and they want to have a fight. 1 versus 1. It is Torpedo from Coming Soon that is going to take the first map of the day. Well played to them, and the quick map says 11 kills. 11 kills from Coming Soon.
Tips with Toby.
Yep, top tips with Toby.
When you're in a 1v1, don't jump.
You're kind of that whole trajectory of where you're shooting is like, okay, all of a sudden I know exactly what I'm
once
doing.
you're in air, your bullets go everywhere.
Oh, you're not
I mean,
gonna fly
there's
back.
no way in hell you know where you're shooting when you're jumping like that. And he was jumping downhill, so he was in
It's
air
going to take a long time.
for so long that he pretty much just gave away the victory because they had the high ground. He could have proned again up there. I liked how they both stood up at the exact same time. They're like, well, 1v1, let's go.
This is it. This is it.
And then he jumps. That's a mistake.
It's like a mini gentleman's agreement. I like how it's sped up a lot at the end. They're like, we're tired of this lying down. Now that one of us is gone, we're just gonna do this. And we're gonna see who is gonna aim better. And maybe sometimes it's just a misclick of pushing pushing that jump button or something.
There's this thing where at least in like PC shooters, because your thumb tends to rest on the spacebar, and that's always a jump. So when you get jump scared or something, when you get scared from someone else, you accidentally flick your thumb. And that forces you to jump. So a lot of people actually unbind spacebar from jump for that reason. Because once you're in the air, you're just a target. There's nothing you do to return fire.
Not exactly. Mouse 2, jump master race for me, but I do.
Mouse 2?
Yeah.
You can't zoom in Quake, I guess, with your guns.
I mean, you can, but mouse 2. Just mouse 2. But it doesn't matter because we're on mobile here today.
That is true.
And
no mouse 2
it's
or
different.
space
It's far more different on mobile because now you're deciding how many fingers are you going to be using on mobile at the same time. And I know some of the guys are using 4 fingers in total. And there's a lot that you have to do with those 4 fingers. If you're going to be moving around, you're looking around, you're trying to jump and prone, crouch, all of those different commands. There's a lot to. A lot of technique to build up, but we are going through the highlights. I don't know if we got a chance to see the early kill into the cave.
We didn't. We saw it when it happened.
We saw it when it happened.
I was like, what?
It's worth going back on yourselves,
I
guys.
mean, it's a good strat. It's a good strat if you just want if you can hit the water, then it's gonna pay off. If not, then not really the kind of thing you want to do. So you got here they tried to make their way on across, but they were miles out in the open, and Coming Soon weren't gonna let them have it easy.
Yeah, I'm just happy to have seen Torpedo having that stunning finish. I was kind of hyping myself up about him into the tournament, and now actually getting to see it come to reality, it is good to see. Again, Seoul though, I feel like we talk about them so much, but now we were talking about them for all the wrong reasons. It's they still haven't had that performance that we've needed from them.
Yeah, you can see how long time he spends in the air.
There's
There doesn't even hit the target once. I mean, that's a tough situation to play. But of course, only one team can win, and all these 3 teams, in all fairness, had wins yesterday. So it's not that we aren't expecting them to get more today, but out of the game 1 was coming soon.
That should put them in a comfortable first position lead. If on the overall standings, here we can see the standings of this match. Actually, it's going to be really close.
I think they are up by something like 30 points, so there might still be a bit of a gap because they're only 14 points up from this game alone.
Yeah.
So it's probably still going to be a little bit of a gap, but it's going to be close nonetheless. That's
we see Brawlers actually getting themselves into 5th place.
Yeah.
And ACR getting a 7th spot. They've been really hurting on the boards recently, but a 7th spot for them, they're going to be really happy with that, I think.
Pretty much got as many points in this game as they did in all 4 games that they won.
Yeah, almost. I think they had 17 in total, so they're pretty much the way there. But, you know, we saw people in the sort of mid-20s and upwards. That was just in the sort of comfort, not really comfort zone, but you're outside of the bubble. And our kill leaders over here. You see Torpedo right at the top, and he's the last man standing as well, so it's good to see.
Yeah, Scully up there as well with 4. Could have had more had he not been tanking that blue for so many ticks there in the end.
Yeah, Algist, I think, was around 7th-ish. I believe that was the 1v1 that was taking place right at the end. And we can see Skull going against Coming Soon over here.
This statistic is really interesting. Look at the damage difference.
That is insane.
I mean, Coming Soon, they were just throwing it at people all the time, like throughout the entire game. And Skull, they were a little more passive. I mean, sure, they got the placement points they wanted. I mean, if you're going to get 3rd place with 5 to 8 kills every time, easy piece of them and squeeze, you're going to be through. It's only top 24, right? But here, I mean, wow.
Yeah, look at this too. This is the distance covered of the walking involved.
Yeah, they went a little further.
And you said there's a lot of them. There wasn't a lot of vehicles being used. You're absolutely.
There was not. I mean, you had that one vehicle with an IP early, but that was about it. Also, it is a very small map, so there's no reason to do it.
Yeah, we can see the damage from some of the other players of the teams that we were comparing. So we can see really of the likes of Torpedo there. There's a lot of the damage, accounting for a good 1/3 of what the team was doing there. Jonathan as well, pretty phenomenal from him. Even with the 2 kills, you're getting some good damage out. We've got YYY. I think he was one of the last Skull players alive.
Yeah.
White was the player who was looking for that information to help Torpedo.
Exactly.
And he also, because he was lasting so long, went in the final of 1 versus 1 versus 1, team-wise.
And they were not in a good spot either. I mean, they were in a situation where they were pretty much basing their entire cover from all of boot camp on smokes. And they just did it really well. I mean, they played it super smart. You could never really see a moment where it seemed like they didn't know what was up. They always knew where their opponents were. Where do we throw this smoke? How do we align ourselves accordingly to get the maximum cover? And they played it super well off of it. So really smart prioritation and good positioning too.
Yeah, I believe we are going to be going over to Vikendi next. I might have to recheck that on my schedule, but I'm 99% sure that we're heading over to Vikendi.
I trust you.
We've got some data now ourselves, and the players have got some experience playing Vikendi in this recent weekend. I know they've been playing it many other times too, but are you expecting any differences moving forward? Or is Sanhok like a very strange map to set the pace as well, because it does play out quite differently?
It is. It's very unique in its way it's being played, simply because of the structure of the map. So I'm anticipating we're just going back to the good old Vikendi in the next map.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, if you want to check some more information out, you can go to clubopen.pubgmobile.com to see all the information on the tournament. Also, a big shout out to Vivo, the official phone for the PUBG Mobile Club Open. And don't forget to subscribe and like and follow on the channels that you're watching, be it on Twitch, be it on YouTube, wherever you are, you can catch all the content that is coming out.
Good games.
Yes.
I like it. First game, I mean, we had the kind of the slumber period. We only had 1 kill in the first 5 minutes. But then, I mean, we talked about it. Chaos will commence, and indeed it did once all these teams started shifting in from the south. I mean, we had pretty much 3 teams north and 7 teams south when there were 10 teams left, right? And it just kept going up there towards the boot camp area and just death.
Yeah, I mean, it was just insane, actually. When we got to that 15-minute mark, it was just action. The kill feed would not stop going.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're going to catch as much of this as we possibly can. But and I was just surprised, actually, how much the play zone took. If anything, this might have been the most casualties from a play zone that we've seen this weekend. I know we saw a lot on day 1.
I was going to say, we had a ton on day 1.
We also saw, if you isolated to just one map, then I think this might have been the most.
Could be.
Yeah, but guys, we have got more games coming up in a moment. We're going to take a short break, so we'll see you back here in a few minutes for more.
Where's everyone?
Capture the night with triple rear camera, 48 million quad pixel sensor.
Zombie, Darkest Night, the newest mode in the zombie universe is here. This time, the rules are different. No more parachuting, as players will be placed at random locations on the map when the match begins, and there is no single winner. Players must work with their teammates to spend one long night in the match and stay alive until the sun comes up. Waves and waves of zombies will spawn during each of the 3 foggy periods at night, and supplies should only be scavenged when the fog fades. The main objective is not to defeat other players, though this doesn't mean they are harmless. Players may need to work with other teams when necessary, but should also watch their backs in case the Fragile Alliance goes south. This will be a unique experience for every player involved. This new mode also comes with a passive skill for every player. Understanding these skills will be the key to staying alive in this long night. Can you ride out the night?
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
Yo, Mike, are you ready?
Wait. Should I go with the UMP9 or use it?
Sun's out, guns out.
Gear up for summer.
You ready?
Okay. Well,
Ready?
Sorry. I'm late.
Any plans for fall break?
Happy graduation.
you made it, bro. So proud of you.
Sorry I'm late. What a day.
I hear ya.
Get
Come
this.
on.
Hey,
Watch out. Take this.
that's
Hey.
a real battleground.
Are you ready?
Do you play PUBG Mobile? Maybe you never run out of
Hello and welcome back everyone to the PUBG Mobile Club Open. We're here for the Spring Split regional group stages and we're going into map 2 here between the games of the Indian teams. My name is Zoot, I'm joined by Toby and we're going to be getting into Vikendi, I believe, very shortly.
Yesterday and the day before, we had 2 very, very different games, both on Miramar and Vikendi. Now, they are 2 very different maps. I mean, I guess that's the benefit of PUBG, the good thing that all the maps are actually very, very different. Sure, you might say, well, it's the same weapons, same whatever, but the way that it, especially in a competitive setting, because if you drop into Picard, if you drop into Bootcamp, and you're just used to playing these public games where you land, find a gun, you shoot like a madman, you get killed, and you do the same thing over and over again, that's one thing.
That's a sign of insanity.
That might make the map seem similar because you do the same. But if you go into a competitive setting with all these guys that play like all the time, it's very, very different. You know what? They actually do.
They
take
did.
The
They
lead.
just about take the lead over there. We can see Hydra in third, of course. Look, again, we're going to repeat ourselves. We are broken records, but they have only played 4 matches. As you look at that important column there, you can see Skull there. They're in the top 7, just there with their 5 matches played. So getting some good points themselves. But a nice little battle we've got between Team India and coming soon.
Yeah, they're close. No shit. It just goes to show, right? I mean, they're sitting first and second overall, and they came first and second last game. I mean, there's a reason these 2 guys in the top.
And here on page 2, let's have a look. Ninjas of Pajamas, they did get themselves a win earlier on in the weekend. Not too bad at all. I mean, at this point, I think at least the top half of this page are probably feeling somewhat safe. Or are we at the safe moment?
No.
Actually, for next weekend,
we say that.
we've got quite a lot of action still.
Look how close.
I was thinking just because I'm only casting to the end of
so
today, so they're safe for today, but maybe not
that's
safe
not
for
gonna
next
be
weekend.
safe for them, not at all. Exactly. Look how close it is. We had 56, 57, 58, 59. Just 1 point from 17th down to 12th. And at 42, I mean, it's such a small margin.
We've got to report on this. I mean, we have to be the journalists at the moment for Team Seoul. They're 22nd. This is not good enough for a team that I think is held in its high regard as them. When is that performance coming? I know you can't tell me that, but that's all I'm thinking.
I wish I could.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see.
And because teams have bad days, right? You can't afford to have a bad weekend though, especially in as many games as we've got to play.
True.
And they're playing 2/3 of their games this weekend. They're only going to have 1 day of matches next weekend.
Correct.
And
yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Nice to see ACR getting up the board a little bit. They're going to have a chance to build even more points. I feel like they reverted to some of the tactics that they had at the beginning of yesterday's games. I believe they actually had coming soon. That was on the same hill as them, down below.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was coming soon.
They did.
And they just proned on the floor. There was so many opportunities there. Of course, if they didn't have any frag grenades, didn't have any incendiaries, then the risk is a little higher. But someone needs to take that initiative.
Yeah. And that's true. And also, I mean, one thing is doing all the engagements, and we keep coming back to this, especially on Sanhok. But we saw when I believe it was Daku and Team India up against one another. Team India gets the first knock on the guy behind the rock. They sit around for a little while, try to see if any other movement is being made to go down and get the res up. Doesn't happen. They say, you know what? Ain't worth our time. Let's get going. And they got themselves into a really good spot and got a second place in the game too. Sure, they didn't get a bazillion kills off of it, but they got the placement they wanted. And, well, talking about this point system, it is just more important.
Yeah, it is. You need to be picking up those points. Guys, once again, big shout out to Vivo, the official sponsor of the PUBG Mobile Club Open. Also, if you want to see all that information on the tournament, there's so much information and so many points and leaderboards that you can follow for all the different regions. Go over to clubopen.pubgmobile.com.
Everything you want to know is over there.
Yep, indeed. So, Vikendi, we were talking about how strats, you can't really copy and paste from one map to another, even if maybe Vikendi, you're kind of getting to some similar sizes of others. Everything's different.
I mean, the ideas of the strategy, you can, for sure, and you have to, because you cannot come up with super unique strats for every single map all the time. And I mean, especially with circles changing left and right and all over the place, you have to come up with things on the go, right? So it's tricky. But for Vikendi, I would probably say, if you have a good Miramar, which most teams do, then copy that to Vikendi, but take into account that you have more compounds and that it's harder to rotate with vehicles, which pretty much no one does. I mean, vehicle rotations are very, very common on Erangel, but if you exclude vehicles, for the most part, and you incorporate the fact that you have more compounds to maneuver in between, which can be good, but also tough if you're coming in blind and you don't know if all those compounds are taken.
Yeah.
If you just add those 2 factors to your Erangel strats, then I feel like you can sort of copy-paste them over to your Vikendi strats.
I see. Well, we'll be getting to that game in just a few short moments, but I'm hoping to see finally this Team Seoul. I'm going to keep talking about them because I was a fanboy at the beginning of the weekend. I was like, oh my god, I didn't realize like we're going to be this team that's as famous and incredible as Seoul. But
I mean, now you've cursed one if you've praised another.
The thing is,
right?
I did this whole cursing thing yesterday, and it didn't work. Like they kept on underperforming.
No, but that's what I'm saying. On day one, I guess you can say, didn't
I
try
built
to
them up a
curse
bit.
Hydra, but you highlighted Hydra and they did good. Now you highlighted another team, they did bad. So that's, I mean,
So
now
I
you
got 50-50
now you got
record.
both.
I can't win them all. At least I gave a good first impression.
That
and now the
is
teams
true,
are like,
that
okay,
is
please
true.
don't cheer for us because then we're not going to do well whatsoever.
True.
Hear that? I can hear the plane. I can hear it happening, guys. We are going to be moving into map 2 right now. We can see the north to south flight path taking into place, heading down to Winery.
Pretty straightforward playing. The only thing is, as you can see on the map here, I mean, now, and I don't know why this is, but for the most part, at least on PUBG Mobile, majority of teams, they prefer looting a place with a name. It sounds kind of weird, but there are a ton of compounds in between all these Villa, Mount Kreshnik, Goroka, all these places. There are so many compounds you can loot in between them. Sure, you might have to run a meter or two longer to get to that next building, but it's very viable to loot these areas too. But I feel like everyone is pretty much saying, we only loot these places by name. Maybe it makes it easier for them to remember where it is. I don't know what it is that's causing it, but we see that a lot. And with the Eastern playing like this, because the majority of those named places, and so I guess you can say bigger cities, are on the western side, like far out west, then it's going to be interesting to see. But holy circle. This circle is very different from yesterday as well.
Yeah, this is incredibly different.
Huh.
So Team India all of a sudden realized they've got some cross-country work to do. No one's going to Castle at all. I don't think we saw Castle played out beforehand.
I cannot help but think that this circle is like 1/8 the size of the first circle we saw in the first 2 days.
Yes, but nevertheless, oh God, Neo. No, we don't want to be seeing this again. At least he can get picked up.
Yep, he'll get better going. It's not Satan, it's not Satan. He's fine.
Poor Satan.
But that was a very western circle. And one thing is that it's far out west. It's going to be hard to traverse to it. Another thing is that half the circle is water, and that means that even though it's far out, it's also insanely small. I mean, the landmass is half down, pretty much to circle 3. I mean, if you go by yesterday's settings and the day before on Vikendi, the amount of landmass you have in this circle, that's like circle 4.
Yeah, it is
maybe
crazy.
circle 3.
We had Maximus, who got himself in a little bit of trouble in Sanhok, about halfway through. And ACR, again, rooting for them to have those continuous improvements, although they're going to have to push really hard in order to get out of the bubble and make it to the next section of the tournament. And Cross, he's playing with fire there next to the ISO team.
Yeah, I mean, there are multiple teams looting the same cities, and again, we talked about it, because all these teams prefer to go to the, I guess you can say, official places, we do end up seeing teams landing on top of each other, because one of the benefits of having just 64 players on the server is that there's room for everyone. But if everyone decides to jump the same places anyway, then that doesn't really matter anymore, because there's going to be opponents around you. That's what we tried to avoid when we cut down the amount of teams to begin with.
Oh, Skull and CS, I don't think they want to see each other quite as soon as they saw each other last game. I think it's about time. It's like, we saw you at the end. We want to see you at the end again. Let's not do that right now.
Let's postpone that one a little bit, shall we?
So Skull taking the initiative to get the hell away, though. But Shinrai is going to fire off a couple of shots. Hope for the best. No real connections, but it's okay. They don't have to commit to anything either.
You go away from our compound. That's what they said. So they get themselves that city secured. Down further south, we have a Gravity team that's been off to a rough start. But again, I mean, we're not even halfway through. Oh, I guess technically we're actually exactly halfway through the games when we're done with this one. As for how many games all these teams will get to play, right?
Yes.
It's going to be game number 6 for all these guys. So this will be the halfway point for them. And as I've always said in all sports, what one team can do in one half, you can do in the other. So it doesn't matter if you're behind by 5 goals or down by 200 points. If one team got 200 points in the first part, there's a statistic chance that you can do the same thing in the next.
But then if they also do what they did previously, then you kind of,
I know. You don't say that.
But we don't take that
to help motivate. This is a motivational speech.
This is true.
You don't take into account all the things that go wrong. Of course, if you do well, they do
keep
horrible.
morale high, gentlemen.
That's what I'm saying. You don't start throwing logic at people doing motivational speeches. What is this, dude? What is this?
I'm sorry. Maybe my motivational speaking is not quite ready just yet. ISO going into the neighborhood of Skull. They're looking for some safe areas, but is it going to be safe for long? As we got Ashish and Rohan kind of treading towards them. Oh no, treading a little further away now.
These guys, they cannot seem to catch a break. They drive from one city, or one area, I guess you can say, where Coming Soon was, and now they're going straight into the compound of ISO.
That's RIP. And again, we saw some pretty decent things for them overall. They're about the sort of midway on the leaderboard of points. Although they've got actually some notable amount of LAN experience, they actually only their counterparts NIP have managed to get a map win.
I'm trying to think back. I think they were sitting in 17th place overall coming into this game, and they did have that. I mean, it wasn't a win. I think they actually died in 6th, so they didn't get that many placement points, but they did have that Erangel game 2 days ago, I believe it was, with 17 kills. That's the record, I believe, so far for the entire round, or the entire, this entire weekend, right? 17 kills in one game. At least tied record, I think it is. But haven't really been able to put up numbers since. In that game, they just played with so much confidence. They just crashed from one compound into another, forced all these fights. They did extremely well. They never took any casualties early on, despite forcing so many fights with other teams. And now it's like they've just changed things up completely.
Is that a 4-man vehicle just there?
Yeah, against one another.
Uh-oh. Well, it could get heated up in a moment. They're going to cross. Shots being fired. It looks like ISO actually took the brunt of it. We're going to step away from that for a second as we've got Team Godlike there near Team Seoul. And again, I know a lot of people calling out for Seoul to be stepping it up at the moment. We'll just have to review because we've not been able to report anything positively really, apart from a couple of individual plays from them, and that wasn't even today.
You know what my bet is? If all you guys out there in the chat start spamming some love for Seoul, I'm sure that they will. I'm sure that that'll be the motivational speech they need.
Exactly. Don't get me to do it.
Show them your support, and I'm sure they will be. They'll be just fine as well. Aladdin and Ninja, they're getting themselves a.
They were in that vehicle, that confrontation a moment ago, I think.
A bit of PTSD, sort of psychic. We were just driving down the road, and all of a sudden, 4 guys come shooting at us.
And there were 4 guys in one car as well.
Yeah, that was the scariest part. We were told never to do this. Why can they do it? Oh, yeah, you hate to see it.
This Team Godlike there, I'm sweating for them a little bit. But we've also got RIP in the same area. I mean, we don't know if anything is going to commit whatsoever, but there are fireworks in the making here.
I mean, this is one of the biggest, if not the biggest city in the entire game. So, in the entire map, I mean, sorry. And these can easily sit tight where they are. But as you can see, with all these people sprinting around as much as they are, and a contrast here, God just sitting all by themselves, saying, we will not move a muscle.
Exactly. I'm trying to gauge and map their position, but they seem very happy.
Yeah, I mean, with that position out there, they should have plenty of room to move around, even with 3 teams in the city. You can even add a 4th, as long as, of course, NIP don't start running straight into Seoul.
They split up vehicles, at least, on this occasion. Siam did take some damage as Mortal, who was shooting over across. When now Siam was like, hey, team, I've got a lot of information. There are some players over here. Do we want to go forward? Do we want to try and contest for this position ourselves as Mortals fires over an incendiary? Try and block Siam out. Oh, that was a waste. Apologies.
Yeah, they're trying to see if they can get a bit of an angle there, but not going to happen. NIP, are they just going to commit to the other vehicle? Seems like it.
They're doing it. Oh, this
I mean, this was a situation where, I mean, they had the other vehicle, it would take a lot of damage. Now they go for the one. I mean, this is one of those. Had you had 3 vehicles, you would have gone down to 2. So here, this is a respectable 4 guys in a vehicle situation, because they literally had no other choice. That was the only escape.
Yeah.
So it's still scary.
Toby
you can still get wiped.
to happen.
Yeah, it's still scary. You can still get wiped on it, but at least they did make it out alive.
Team India are our 2nd place team on the boards. Actually got a Brawl nearby. They're going to get a couple of shots out towards the vehicle. Frost seems to have suddenly got taken a bit of an injury. Brawl doing pretty good though last game compared to Friday. It's been heaps of improvements from them.
Yeah, see, Paracharge has made his way down towards the main square, I guess you can say, of the city here, and I mean he should be able to hear some footsteps in the distance, but whether that's going to be enough for him to want to call his teammates down to assist him, or it's just going to be him saying, guys, we now know that there are multiple teams in the city. I can give you the info from here. Don't come running. They'll just hear us as well.
If you're Daku here, would you rather have a player in 4 different compounds?
They're sitting miles out on the edge of the circle, and they have info on approximately 250 square meters, where they could have been getting info on 2 square kilometers.
I see. So the fact that they're 2 person to a building and then 2 person to another is
if this circle shifts to any spot that they can't see right now, which is very likely because they were far out on the edge, they will have to spend time that they could have spent rotating on doing reconnaissance. Because they didn't do the reconnaissance when they had the time to do it.
Yes.
And that is probably one of the biggest takeaways from me, having watched this league so far. Overall, the plays, the mechanic skills of these guys are very, very high. They throw out some insane shots, a lot of them. They're really good. They're tracing their targets and all that stuff. But some of these rotation situations where they do like here, 4 guys in one compound, they have to realize you're just 63 players. It's not a public game. You don't have 100 people running around like baboons trying to find each other. Everyone is playing with the same mindset, and you don't have to sit on top of each other all the time.
We've got Orb is just trying to run in as the circle closes in. Wouldn't take too much damage at all at this instance, but definitely on their feet. And Team Gravity getting some air. Oh, God. Close to a small barrel roll, but they got it covered. The driver
You think
is
they were
fine.
trying to defy gravity?
I won't justify your comment with humor.
Not with song either. I guess you're not a musical man. That's fair. That's fair. I thought all British people went to West End and saw musicals.
No, we just drink tea. That's
eat
that's about all. Yeah, that's and crumpets. That's all we do.
Crumpets, it's called.
Yeah,
of
but
course.
and we are very proud of it. So.
Oh yeah, it should be. Should be. Tastes good sometimes. God, they're still in the same one compound. They have not moved anywhere. The guy proned on the west has been proning.
Ooh.
And everyone else has done the same. And look at the situation now. God is still in, sure. But, I mean, you got coming soon, far up northeast. They have to move. Daku, they were inside the circle before. They now have to move. Look at this. Now they're moving. 4 guys in a vehicle. And they're moving into the complete unknown. I mean, they're going in blind, you could say.
They've also littered. And that's not good. You've got to clean up after yourself.
Gotta protect Mother Nature.
Yeah, but they will head over. There was a lot going on in the western city. I mean, there's a lot of teams starting to build up over there. Coming soon, as you said, on the northeast, they're going to have a little bit of a longer route, but that might actually benefit them in the end, allow some other teams to take the flak. ACR, again, being very, very passive overall, but they're working together, staying as a unit at almost all occasions. Team India, they're going to charge right in here to BC. They're trying to scope it out a little bit. I wonder how long BC is going to stay quiet, or maybe allow them to move in, because this third person could benefit them a lot, as we have suddenly got someone injured. It is Algisk, who's one of the last map, but they are coming to try and get some support. There's Raj going to finish off that job.
They got themselves 3 kills extremely quickly, I believe. No, make that 2 kills. Really quickly now. It's a 4v2, and it's going to be up to Will and them to hold off while the team comes to help, and they're not going to be there fast enough. Kratos made the push. They knew they had them numbered, and now they're starting to take the return fire. What was a 4v2 is now a 2v2 instead.
And he's just come up the stairs again, but now limited to only 1 Team India player remaining. He's trying to get the killing blow, but it's not worked out. Trance, is he still alive? No, he gets taken down. 16th is Team India.
They do get 2 kills, so that's something. But that right there, once again, we saw it yesterday in the game that Team India could have won, that it ended up not winning. When you're in a situation, when you're in a 1v1, you do not chase the knocked guy. You do not waste your bullets on that guy when you have an opponent right next to you. That is simply a mistake made there. Fortunately, his teammate did come up and save his butt. But had they gone out there because of that, that would have been a huge error thrown in by them.
Absolutely. Sometimes the moment takes you, but at this level, we are expecting to be focused on getting those players who are live and kicking, moving around and wait for those threats. But, you know, very nice from the team in order to get rid of Team India, a major threat in the tournament.
Yeah, and for teams that are sitting further down the list now, having them wiped already is going to be pretty a little bit of a confidence boost, I guess you can say, in the sense that they now know at least one of the teams that they fear to go up against in a firefight are out, so they can start harvesting a bit more.
White going to be able to pick up some damage. Probably won't get the points for that. But has alerted them that his presence in there, and White was a really strong performer again in last game.
Do you think he gets extra camouflage on this map? +2 camouflage for that name?
I think so, but then do you get like -10 on the other maps? Sanhok,
exactly. Oh, that's unfortunate.
King hurting, and it is again White on the sweet end of those shots. Shinra's actually gone down for a moment. King, did he manage to take down King? He did. White again getting a lot of knocks.
Well, this shot's being fired on through here. You can see the circles pushing into these teams. They're just hugging the edges for as long as they can. The circle's going to pop in just a short moment. As you can see, all the coming soon players making their way around the northeastern side. Dobre Mesto, though, is going to be the city of focus as the circle shifts further west.
And coming soon, licking their wounds a little bit, decided, you know what, if Orb wants to disengage, we'll allow it.
Yeah, and it's only Circle 2 closing in, so
will
it's
they
not a
allow
big
it?
deal.
Nope, not voluntarily. They would have disengaged, but Orb takes another couple of shots over at them, and that is White that goes down, a pivotal member of the CS roster. Oh, the play zone's just taking down Shinra.
That's the second knock too. He should be all right. It's only Circle 2. You can get up, you can get that bandage going quickly, and then start first aiding. Should be able to get that done once he gets up. We'll see here if he's going to be able to pull it off. Should be able to. There comes the bandage, and then he should be able to first aid after. Yep, there you go. Get that tick in from the bandage first to keep you up while you're first aiding, and then you're good to go.
It's just like Orb are positioning himself in a way as like CS, you kind of have to go through us, but they're the ones to take the risks.
Yeah. I mean, they want to make their way. Now they made their way into the circle, and you can see they're close to the next one too, so they can take some time to fight here. I mean, if there's one thing we've been seeing coming soon do well, let's do these fights. Now they did lose one guy, but should be able to pull off something good here.
Yeah, God's Reign. Being able to protect these compounds. They got Brawl, not a million miles away from. This is definitely a fight that we're looking out for a lot. Gatak, DY9 sticks his head out. That could be a hell of a lot of pain.
I mean, they are up against the arguably lower tier teams. I might argue otherwise, but we have seen so many really, really good things in this tournament alone from coming soon that I would be surprised to see Orb win it. But as I say that, Tornado goes down. The return fight does come in, though. Very
nice from Shinra. And Gatak's in a pretty nasty position now. Is going to look to see if it can help. It would be behind. Oh, there was a chance there to actually finish the knock and get the kill. DY9 also sticking his head out.
Wow.
Does take down Shinra. So might have bought a bit of space. Now DY9 trying to get behind. Just wiggling left and right, hoping for the best. That is going to hurt.
First and second place.
Wow.
Down and out.
Wow.
That is the top two teams, not only this group right now, but the entire tournament.
That's
eliminated
crazy.
early. That is a big clap in the hands for all these other teams trying to make their way up the leaderboard.
Really, really nice play from Orb as well. The way they positioned themselves there and made it so that CS really couldn't escape from danger almost any direction that they were moving.
Yeah.
I don't know if they could have maybe gone the opposite way around the circle, but then they're still fairly open. So
yeah, it would have been extremely
I don't know what I could have prescribed for CS otherwise, other than to win the aim fight.
I think they made the smart play in the sense that they tried to maneuver around them and be the ones to get on the inside and hold them off. But they got caught out right as they tried to make the run across the open, and that just kind of screwed them over. They knew where they had them. They had like 2 rocks and a tree to hide behind, and there's just nothing you can do from there.
It's just not much.
Having pink skins on your guns doesn't help a lot either. It doesn't make you camouflaged.
It's unfortunate. Well, Brawl moving into God's Reign. Very experienced lineup to have to go against, but Brawl probably filled with a little more confidence than before. But here we've got a full separation, 1 player per building.
Brawl took some good fights last game. Like they had that one time where they fought 2 teams at the same time. They were seemingly doing pretty well at it too. They did end up going down because they had so many targets to shoot at and being shot from. But we'll see if they can get to a better this one.
There's 5 teams in Dobro Mesto. Wait, can I count? 5, maybe 6? The Nips on the other kind of bottom right of it, so 5.5, let's call it.
5.5 teams, I like that call.
Yep, let's do it. And Brawl, I'm nervous for them. Very, very. But the thing is, the circle is moving in again in a very few short moments, and now it's a bit of a question like who wants to disengage first? Don't get too tunnel visioned in terms of just focusing on one another. There's a lot more on the macro side to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, and that's one of those small things here. You see Dark, he knows he has defense. Oh! Holy cow, that one went through the window.
What a shot. And it's okay. Maybe Twister can help him out. But okay, this could be an absolute money grenade. He does take down a huge chunk of the health. So all of a sudden if Twister or Manu OP wants to come and help, well, the time is limited.
It's way too late. 10 seconds to go until the circle starts shrinking, too. That was a really well thrown nade. I don't know if you heard him over there in the house, and or if it was just one of those prediction nades saying, well, I mean, if these 2 guys are split, it would make sense that there's at least 1 guy here, and they got it.
They know that building's empty now, 100% too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So
I mean, there's no way, because he didn't get the res in, so that would make sense. But still, they have to make their way into the circle. All these 6 players are outside right now.
I like this smoke play, actually. They could find a way to bypass. We've got Dark and Nova King moving around, but Axe is going to be able to spot a little bit of this happening. They're not going to... Okay, there is Nova King opening up the door. but Axe is going to be able to get a vision on them very soon if they move away from the wall at all. But now all of a sudden it's God's Reign that have got to move out, so this could be really intelligent repositioning from Brawl.
And this is the picture-perfect example of what you saw that Coming Soon wanted to do in that previous fight, where they ended up going down. Get around them, trying to be the ones to pin them down on the outside. Now Brawl does take one guy, or lose one guy, make that. Dark goes down early. You can see the blue damage is not too bad yet, but once it connects, that's where we go from the small damage to the add-up. It goes from, I believe, 1 to 4 damage per tick, or 3. So big difference in damage there.
You know, God's Reign, it's just absolutely so tense what's going to happen in the moment, because God's Reign may have realized they've just been a little bit passive in this and not given Brawl the respect that they could make a move like that. And now they're starting to move around a little bit. Iconic is going to have plenty of vision. It's going to be able to spot one. The comms are going to be able to come out. So maybe we'll try to take a shot and isolate that target, but Twister's behind that tree. Now Axe has also been spotted, so 2/3 of God's Reign.
He's going to go down.
Ooh.
Okay. Just get the first aid off.
But
Oh, it was a smoke thrown, okay.
This smoke actually makes things a little bit tricky because his vision is horribly blocked.
Look at the damage coming in now as well. We
It's a
just
lot.
got it connected. The circle once again shifted over towards NIP. And this is where the issue becomes, to me at least, bigger when you have these third-person situations. It's so much harder, so much more dependent on people to move around. Twister gets spotted now, but he gets one.
But that was so difficult. It's like, do I heal or do I go for the kill? He decided to go against it, and it looks like God's Reign managed to come out on top in the end. Oh, but Twister can't make it out. So I think we ended up losing both teams.
Yeah, and that's one of those situations where, I mean, third party becomes TPP, third person becomes a disadvantage because they're just sitting there, they're holding those angles, they're in the safety, and none of them dare moving because they know exactly where the other guys are. And if we start running, they can see us before we can see them, and vice versa, right? So they're kind of keeping each other in the blue for an extra amount of time, and it's just not benefiting any of them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, well, be it a different situation, maybe they would have played it differently. But otherwise, I still like the initiation from Brawl.
Oh yeah. The idea to make the move around the other side of the compound was really smart. They should probably wanted to move further away than just there.
Yes, indeed. And we do have Team Godlike over here going up against Skull. Eventually, Stealth is going to get taken down, but he's created a decent amount of casualties as Razaka is nearby.
Really nice double knock coming in there, but not a whole lot more to it. At least right off the bat. Now Razaka does come around the side, gets himself down one.
That's 3 members down of Skull, so it's just YYY that's left. And he has got a lot of work to do going against the 3 members of Team Godlike alive. And Skull was another top performer in the last map.
Yep.
We are a little further down the list. There are 11 teams remaining, but still this is early on in terms of the amount of points you're getting from your position.
Indeed it is. They only have 2 kill points so far, and I'm not expecting Skull to get a whole lot more than that, having just 1 guy alive here. NIP, they're all hugging the same one building. Dagger was made them move on center, so learned a bit from their previous blue zone adventures. That's always good to see. One thing is you make mistakes, that everyone can do that, but it's the art of correcting them that separates all the good teams from the mediocre, I guess you could say.
Well, we've been quiet again for a while about Team Soul, but now with RIP right in front of them, they really need to start to look at winning this team fight if they want to advance to the late stages of this game.
I mean, the thing for them is that they both saw CS and the
and Team India
go down earlier, so that's going to be a huge thing for them, because if they can start catching up on points here, that'll be and again, we're talking about it, right? It's just one of those 1-2 good games. You don't need to win here, you just got to get top 24.
And it looks like they've moved away from it, actually. RIP. They are all live and kicking, all fine. Team Godlike, that great plays on Skull. They know there's another player lurking around somewhere. So there's respect being given, but Circle is going to be moving in on us very soon. And Soul know they still have done far from enough. Again, it's been around these stages that they've usually lasted up until the games. I don't know if they're feeling the pressure of expectation. That can sometimes be it. When you get some good performances, then people expect you to perform well. Then you kind of paralyze yourself with your own pressure.
Taking some shots here towards the guys making them run around. Rip once again showing themselves as a smart team in the sense of them prioritizing the rotation rather than a fight that's going to force them out into the blue. I like that. They know there's going to be a ton of players coming in coming further down south from this position in Topo Mostro. So they say, you know what? Why not set up shop further down to the circle and take the fight from there?
And Tempest also just moved again into some more buildings where actually it is within the zone. So they've made a really, really nice move there. Good proactive play.
Yeah, really smart rotations. And that's what you got to do. This is why they're one of the better teams. They do these smart plays.
And Vision on Sol always is in a pretty scary spot. There is a vehicle that he could look at blowing up. They might see that it's moving now. There was a chance to starve Sol of some automotive mobility.
Didn't get the vehicle explosion there, unfortunately, so they'll be able to drive on
Why?
forward. Why? He's just going full speed forward, and he's approximately trying to say how many teams can I get nearby. He has broken level 1 helmet, broken level 2 vest, and he has no HP. Now he's driving straight into Team Gravity.
Can he dream? Can he dream big? Is he stopping to try and heal himself a little bit to get behind a rock and do something about that?
I mean, that's all he can do, right? He has 1 first aid remaining. He's not inside the circle.
What does he do after? Does he try and get back in the vehicle?
The thing is, I mean, even here, if you're solo player remaining, normally, I mean, you say if you can get 3 placements higher as a solo than what your team accomplished, if you go out in 16th and you get 13th, that's actually, I mean, that's well done. That's what you could do. You get points for yourself, right? So, one guy gone down. King secures himself the damage done there. Godlike taking the fight in this one as well. So now multiple teams trying to charm in here.
Oh my god, the zone's going to hurt a lot. Is going up against Viper, who's one of the highest performing players on Sol. Ronak should be getting picked up, but the zone's starting to move in, and Viper going to look to get some meds up shortly.
They are inside the circle here. You see the smokes coming in now, trying to grant themselves some cover, but 1 nade, guys. 1 nade from Rip would be the full team wipe of Sol. They're pretty much sitting on top of each other right now. Same thing could be said about Max, but they're in check.
Yeah, they do not have a lot of space to work with, Maximus, actually.
That is bad real estate.
Okay, Paratosh goes down to Oasis, actually. So getting some good retaliatory fire.
Why did it go down?
Oh.
Well, in all fairness, I mean, there were 12 teams left when they were fighting initially. Now he got 7th or 8th place. So that is the 3 placements we were talking about.
Oasis getting headshot just then.
Wow.
We are actually getting to the territory right now where this would be the highest performance for Sol.
Yeah,
the entire weekend.
They have not had this placement.
Yeah, this would put them on the final page that comes up after a team wins.
NIP has been sitting 4 guys in this compound for 4 circles now, and it's shifted straight on top of them every single time. That is that's one of the situations where sometimes, you know what, sometimes you just get lucky and ain't nobody gonna complain about it.
Oh, we just saw Rahil from Daku getting down, and he might go down permanently. Actually, he's got very little left of him. Yeah. Carry is going to be getting credit for that.
And this is where it's going to be so tough. You can see the positions right here with the overview up there. There's very little cover. All you have are trees. And if you're sitting in a position where you're covered from the compound, then other guys will be able to spot you from the side.
Shot from Team Gravity. That was awesome. Well done, Imo. RIP there. He might spot a scalp in a second.
He knows they're down there here, anticipating the movement. Now Skull's making the run forward.
So can they do it? Top 6 now as we see another team go out. There is Maximus to the left. Oh, wait, he's been downed a few times, but now it's going to be very dangerous for the teammates to pick him up again.
And you can see how much damage the blue has started to do. Mortal goes down as well. Maximus Alpha, now they're starting to take fire from behind as well. As NIP starts charming in here. It is all falling apart for Sol.
Yeah, they've lost Ronak, so only 2 members still standing. We've got Lancer shooting over at Maximus as well, which also have got Team Sol within their line of sight. And NIP have such a good position,
Can't do
actually.
that, Ivo. Thank you for realizing. You cannot rest him in the blue like that, because one thing is you might get him up, but then once he's up, he goes down immediately because of the blue.
It's just Viper alive, looking to hold on to better than top 6.
We've seen him do crazy things before. Every single placement could matter here. We know how close he can get sometimes. Right now, they're sitting in 22nd place coming into this one, so they need every single point they can get. Once again, look at NIP. How are they sitting bang center? It's like the circle from the start. Someone told them, guys, I think the game is going to end over in this specific building. And well, right now, the game is trying to prove them right.
That incendiary is hurting a little bit. We are going to be losing Kritagia. Viper does pick off Paratosh, actually. So Viper, I mean, this is another player to look out for on Team Sol the whole tournament. Maybe he's going to have a chance to really shine on this occasion. It's obviously too soon to say too much more than that, but you can see the obstacles that he's got around him. Got Maximus on the left side. There is a player remaining from Daku as well, up the north side of that.
And NIP lost 2 players there, and that's the issue now when you have this compound. Everybody knows you're in there, and they're going to start looking at all these windows. And with so many people looking around at you, It's going to be hard for you to stay in cover. Darko, one player remaining as well. 2 solos trying to make it out alive. Now make that 3 solos as Maximus lost 1 player too.
And Team Gravity, this actually could be an immense performance for Team Gravity. Because they've oh, Team Gravity, again, the grenades coming out from Immo.
Can't do it, Sky. Can't do it.
It's just Prince up for NIP. It's just Prince.
Yeah.
Paratosh just gets taken down by the zone. Players starting to move in. And again, with that player Viper, who's still got to watch out for him. He's on the fringe. He is going to be able to take down a member. They're getting himself another placement. Soul in contention at the moment, but Team Gravity moving into the House of Ninjas in Pajamas.
Top 4 alive, Viper outside the houses. If he can stay on the down slant here, he might be in cover from the buildings. We'll see now the fight is happening inside.
There it is, Immo. Oh my god, he gets shot so early around the corner there. Prince, and what's he going to be able to do over here? Aaron is trying to do something with Prince. Carry, Prince have been doing so much. They held off.
They just held them off. 2 guys against 4. Very, very well done. Top 3 remaining now, and they're only going to get 2 ups. So Sky somehow alive in this one. Soul, this is the best game they've had placement-wise at all. And now if this happens, if NIP gets all 4 back, oh no, they don't, Navi. Navi went down. But they still do manage to get 3. So 3v1v1 and they have the house.
And Viper is part of it, guys. Team Soul is alive. RIP as well. NIP a winner, actually, earlier on in the weekend of a map. So, I mean, this is a very good chance for them to secure some much-needed points. But Sky from RIP, again, a land-proven team. These this is becoming pretty damn tense.
And we talked about how RIP had that one good game in Erangel the other day. And then they haven't really done anything other than that. This time around, I mean, now there's a chance for them to get something done here. Soul, 6 kills in 3rd place, guaranteed at least.
What's the vision going to be like if Carry spots him?
He's got to see him, right? He's got to see him.
This could be pretty tragic.
Pink pants, pink weapon, pink shoes.
There it is. Viper is in a lot of trouble. He's going to try and fight back, but he's not able to do it. Soul goes out in 3rd place. Now we've got RIP versus NIP. It's the war.
One bush to another. Trying to stay put, Sky.
God.
You cannot
not like this.
tank this.
Not like this.
Oh, is you just going to die on purpose? Bandaging? What are you
You've got to get out. You've got to get out, Sky. Don't do it like this. It's going to give away Ninjas the win.
I mean, in all honesty, he probably wouldn't have won 1v3, but there's always a chance. And we've seen these guys pull off crazy things, and that is, again, I don't want to call it a rookie mistake because we talk about how land-proven this team is.
Yeah.
But that's a blunder.
That
is a big mistake to make.
I think he had to run to some sort of cover.
Of course he did.
There
as
was
soon
a wall
as you start
in front.
taking damage, you just send it full speed forward.
Yeah, exactly. Even if you're weaving left and right a little bit, he surely would have made it to the wall of the building. But we can see there's 10 kills there for NIP. They had such a good position for such a long time. And they held off that one attack when they had so many players down against Team Gravity. What a clutch play to hold them off when it looked like it was going to be catastrophic.
I mean, some might argue that they got all the circles in the world, and they did. But circles don't always grant wins because they didn't get these kills by just sitting around and hiding out. They got these wins by holding off all the teams trying to push them. So in the end, sure, they got the circles, but they deserved the win after that end game fight there.
You still got to execute at some point.
For sure.
And when you got a player, it was essentially like a 1 or 2 versus 4.
Yeah, it was 2v4 at one point, yeah.
And going against Team Gravity, I thought that was very, very impressive, especially when it looked like Team Gravity made the right play. I feel at that point it's maybe just the aiming, the mechanics letting them down a little bit.
Yeah, this one right here, you see it right there. They come in, they take the fight on 1. In comes the next guy, gets the knock. Oh, not here. Comes up the hill. I mean, this was another 2v4 situation where they actually end up winning it. BC comes in. Look at this. He knows where the other guy is and gets knocked because of that. Noddy there with the save, fortunately, because that could have been another 4v2 going in the favor of India.
Yeah, exactly. Team India eliminated right at the beginning of this game, something we were not expecting at all. But given all the leading teams that got knocked out early, Soul's 3rd position could be more and more important of a play.
That is PUBG for you. You win some, you lose some. You cannot get them all, and that's why we're playing the amount of games that we are, because there's so many different factors playing in. This Nate right there, just on the money. There's no counterplay to it. I mean, he cooks it perfectly. It explodes right at his feet. You cannot even start running away. You're just going to get torn apart.
This is a really fun team fight. We saw Brawl making that move over afterwards to kind of choke out God's Reign, and then God's Reign comes back out on them, and then they all die to the zone anyway. So
that was an interesting endeavor.
It was emotional. It was an emotional. It was a roller coaster ride throughout the entire thing. And Twister just leaping, hoping, and no,
it just collapses.
Yeah, The play zone certainly took some casualties in this map as well. Not quite as many as we saw in Sanhok, though.
Yeah, but everything here, I mean, to me, it kind of proves my point on Vikendi that it's all about compounds. Pretty much every single fight we saw were teams either trying to push into a compound or teams trying to leave a compound where another team was holding them inside, right? Everything is evolved around compounds. It makes it really tough to play if you're a team that's constantly getting shifted away from, because you're forced to take these fights all the time. You don't have that cover in the open where you can stay put, at least not in very many spots. So if all these teams running around in the open, especially in third person where the opponents can sit behind the wall and look out the window like that, it is very tricky. So for a team like NRP, sure, they got the circles, but I mean, could have been any other team in this map, I think.
Yeah, indeed, and this is where we saw a lot of the Seoul members starting to go down. Viper holding his own till his very last breath in third. And Daku didn't do too badly at all, actually. Can certainly root for them, who've had a much better...
I think Lance's team, they got like 4 or 5 kills. 5 kills make that, and they got a 4th or 5th place in that game as well. 5th place make that. Goes down right there.
Certainly had some team meetings since Friday's games.
Yeah, we saw them start rotating earlier as well. I compliment them for that. That's really smart. I mean, they were one of the teams that were fighting the blue monster of death.
This was the one, actually, where NIP managed to just hold on right at the end. Now we see Viper eventually get eliminated, and we can go on to the points here of Game 6 of these players. Ninjas and Pajamas getting 40 points. 10 kills they get in that one.
Good game.
So people are going to be very relieved to see Team Seoul up in third place at least. They need to continue this, though, if they really want to make themselves safe.
Sure,
RIP, brilliant. Team Gravity, again, what an improvement we've been seeing from them.
Yeah, I mean, it's always tricky. I mean, okay, in all fairness, they were one of the teams that didn't get the circle. And still they managed to push all the way through. There in the end, they kind of stumbled into into the fight. It seemed like the coordination wasn't really there in the fight because they had the numbers, they just weren't able to execute. No fairness, I mean, you got to give it to NIP as well. They held it extremely well.
Exactly. And we can see our kill leaders too. Viper, I mean, he's just fragging out constantly. Carry, though, leading the way with 5 on NIP. Who else can we see down at the bottom? Actually, a lot of the NIP members seem to be around here, given that they had 10. We can see Marvi. We can also see Prince with carry, and that counts for all the frags they got.
Yeah, 10 kills on the team. Really well done by NIP. And that sums it up for this one. And it's going to be Erangel next. And I'm excited to see how it's going to go down, because that's where we've seen a lot of these teams played extremely well respectively. But now we toss some of these big ballers into the same lobby. And how is that going to impact things?
I mean, we're going to have to see what happens, because we get the Erangel teams.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
the teams. Their best map is Erangel.
That's
so
what they all say, right?
We'll have a look. It could shape up. But the thing is, we've seen some of these teams like coming soon and say, "Oh, their best map is Erangel." They've already been amazing. Are they going to be amazing? Not that that's a word.
We will see.
You know,
we will see.
We'll find out.
Could have been interesting to see how far NIP actually traveled this game. It's probably like 800 meters in total. They looted one spot and they went to that house and they never left it.
Yeah, exactly. And because it's 6,600
yeah,
we saw
exactly. 7 kilometers.
Oh my
0
God.
damage done by SV Singh. That's, of course, not the kind of stat you want to have. But it's a team game. If the other guys can do the damage for you.
Support player, can you say that? Support player?
I hope not. I mean,
I was trying to buy something for them, you know, but they got Ronak there. I know Aways, who maybe I missed or could come up, did take a lot of damage for the team. If you had a damage taken stat, I mean, Aways, he was the tank player, I think.
For sure.
And he did it. Like, I mean, he gave as much as he got. In fairness.
Yeah, I mean, he pulled off some good stunts there to throw the bullets his way and let the likes of Viper get all the shooting done on the other, and you see the damage done there as well. NIP, they were in the house for the longest time. They could just sit there and start tapping away at everyone, and in the end, that granted them the win at 40 points too as well.
Yeah, again, we should be able to compare some Team Cell stuff, maybe even the players as well with them. We can see the points difference that they got at the end, but. You know, given how... Are you surprised by the damage stat actually between the two teams? They were very close.
No, I mean, Seoul, they were running all the time, and NIP, they were chilling all the time. And the benefit they get, because they always fought teams that were on this. You see, they actually rotated rather far. NIP, they drove a really long distance to get to that compound in the beginning. It was a really, really far western circle. So I think the majority of their travel distance is off of that first vehicle ride.
Yeah.
Because they were the ones that tried to get into Dobromesto to begin with.
Yes.
There were already 3 teams there. They came in with 2 vehicles, drove up, and they're like, nope, ain't gonna happen. They turned around and went back. Over 1,000 damage for carry. That is
he was carrying there. That is definitely
literally
no
living up
jokes
to the name.
Trying to be made. He is absolutely carrying.
No, but they were the team that tried to get into Dobromesto with that with the 2 vehicles, didn't work. They almost got wiped early, actually, but then they go 4 guys into 1 car. They got themselves a compound, and I think they're pretty happy that they did.
And that was actually when they had just met Sol initially, and they did not want to get involved in that fight straight
exactly.
away. Prince, I mean, still, when like in terms of damage stats here, like when you know you're doing a great job, what's that kind of sweet number you think you're looking for? Are you getting like 300 plus?
It's very different from match to match, and also which map you're on. But I think on average, if you're like, I mean, I can mainly talk from like PC side of things. If you're a highly professional competitive player and you only play in the competitive scene, like over a season, you'd see that some of the top guys sit around like 350, 400 damage per game.
I see.
On
Okay.
average.
So
but that's a lot. That's a lot of damage on average.
So when you see that 1,000 damage stat from carry,
that's insane. I mean, it's obviously not going to happen every game, but I mean that's.
Or is it?
He's
got something to tell us.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. No, but that is very impressive.
Yeah, absolutely fair play. So we do have ourselves another winner over there, guys. So those points are going to be massively valuable for them. But with Erangel, we've talked about what we can see. The Erangel only teams.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk a little about the trigger discipline. Actually, and in just a moment, as you can see below, guys, Vivo, the phone sponsor for the PUBG Mobile Club Open. Again, check out that information below on clubopen.pubgmobile.com. You can get everything about the tournament. And additionally, subscribe or follow here on Twitch, on YouTube, where you're watching.
I'm gonna throw a curveball to the Indian viewers here.
Okay.
Because in this tournament, when we're playing on 4 different maps, if you're expecting to win a big global tournament and you want to be one of the best in the world, you cannot be a 1-map team. Doesn't work. No Counter-Strike team has ever won off of only playing 1 map. You have to be. I mean, sure, you can have the favorite map, but you cannot be, like you say, they're the Erangel team. Like as if that's an excuse to not play as well in the other ones. It was maybe in the beginning when it was only Erangel, but now we're playing all the 4 maps competitively. Just gotta learn them. That's how it is.
And there's a lot of practice that needs to go into that too.
For sure.
Well, I'm going to hold my topic for a little bit, guys, but what we're going to do is go to a break. When we do come back, we've got another map. It's just Erangel that is remaining for us today on the Sunday. So, guys, we'll see you in just a few moments of that.
Where's everyone?
Capture the night with triple rear camera, 48 million quad pixel sensor.
Zombie, Darkest Night, the newest mode in the zombie universe, is here. This time, the rules are different. No more parachuting, as players will be placed at random locations on the map when the match begins, and there is no single winner. Players must work with their teammates to spend one long night in the match and stay alive until the sun comes up. Waves and waves of zombies will spawn during each of the 3 foggy periods at night, and supplies should only be scavenged when the fog fades. The main objective is not to defeat other players, though this doesn't mean they are harmless. Players may need to work with other teams when necessary, but should also watch their backs in case the Fragile Alliance goes south. This will be a unique experience for every player involved. This new mode also comes with a passive skill for every player. Understanding the skills will be the key to staying alive in this long night. Can you ride out the night?
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
Yo, Mike, are you ready?
Wait. Should I go with the UMP9 or use it?
Sun's out, guns out.
Gear up for summer.
Ready?
Okay. Well,
Ready?
Sorry. I'm late.
Any plans for fall break?
Happy graduation.
you made it, bro. So proud of you.
Sorry I'm late. What a day.
I hear ya.
Get
Come
this.
on.
Hey,
Watch out. Take this.
that's
Hey.
a real battleground.
Are you ready?
Do you play PUBG Mobile? Maybe you never run out of stamina. Maybe you're always aware of your surroundings. Maybe you're an amazing cook with the pan. Maybe you're a great driver. But as soon as you hear the sound of an airplane, you get into the zone. In PUBG Mobile, you all come from different walks in life. But you face the same dangers on the battleground. And you become friends. You work together to overcome the obstacles. This is PUBG Mobile. There's a number one in all of us. Welcome to the PUBG Mobile first anniversary party. PUBG Mobile. Be the one.
I mean, I'm...
There you go.
There we go.
I can hear you.
It cut me on just as I was going to say something else. But guys, I think we're going to be jumping into the map straight away. So welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Club Open. I'm Zoot, joined by Toby. And we should get to see all of our wonderful teams from Groups A and C moving into Erangel, as I think we even caught a glimpse of the flight path a second ago. There it is. Here we can jump in.
Team India back to military. We saw them do that
they like military.
all day yesterday. So nothing new under the sun in that regard.
Let's see if anyone's going to go to the far north Seoul, out above school area. And it does worry me with Skull and Team India being so close together at the moment. We saw them go out quite early last time round. Actually, there's ACR going very far north for the time being. They're the ones that like to... They are the zone lurkers.
Well, I mean, they're not in a
the
hurry.
Fringe zone lurkers. The fringe
Let's
lurkers.
see where the circle goes to. And holy Team India.
Wow.
Now. Yesterday, when we had a melee game, Team India got 7th place.
Yes, actually, that's a good point. That didn't
So
work out
it's
for
no
them at all.
guarantee. It's no guarantee that you're going to win it. And also, technically, it's no guarantee that it's actually going to go there. There's still a chance it could shift up towards Gatka with a hard northwestern circle. So this will be interesting, though. We have coming soon. They were spending all the time. Actually, no, that's not true. That was Apex yesterday, spending a lot of time in Pochinki taking fights there.
Yes.
But this time around, we have 2 teams in there as well. I saw that it was coming soon, and I couldn't really see who that other team was. So 2 teams in there now. We got them BC looting up inside the city here as well. Now the question is going to be whether they want to take fights against one another or just kind of loot up and go each their separate ways.
I mean, coming soon, going out early last round if they really want to keep an advantage. Because Team India went out early as well, they can kind of try and still keep an advantage if they want to play it safe. sure, I wouldn't expect them to fight. But otherwise, we've got God's Reign up here with Orb.
Also, the main thing here for them is that they got a win in the second place in Erangel yesterday. I mean, sure, I just said before, you don't want to be based on one map, but you want to be good on your good maps. So if they know that this is a map that they're sort of excelling on, then they can't take like over aggressive early game city fights that can be full on RNG at any moment.
Yeah, and Team Gravity got a huge amount of landscape over here, all the properties and apartments. They got the school as well. Basically, they can start their own civilization from here.
Yeah, probably not the biggest problem for them if that's what they're seeming to do. Now they are inside the blue in just short moments. So I assume that city wouldn't be the best place to live in anymore.
Quiet Brawl actually not far away from Team Gravity here in Roshok, but they can be quite happy with their performance today, but they'll need to definitely turtle their way forward as we go back over to the BC guys. And CS, yeah, Torpedo, he's got some information. He looks like he's looted up to a decent amount if all he wants is info.
Yeah, that's the issue, right? Because every single second he spends just standing there and holding the angle, it's time that all these other teams are spending rotating, getting better loot, setting themselves up for the late game fights, and everything they're doing right now is sort of just being positioned dead center. Now we do not know exactly what they have to work with, but the only thing we do know is that most likely they'll have to move out of Pachinki at some point.
Yeah, there's still so many out of there. Team India, I mean, their voices will echo in the mountains. There'll be no one there to hear it. They've got so much space all to themselves.
They have their own island.
It's brilliant. It's a dream for anybody, isn't it? And looks like they moved back a little bit. I might be wrong about that, but Orb seem to be moving forward, if anything, on them.
Yeah, Skull getting looted down here as well, I believe. Try to think back now. Yeah, the first game that they did win was the Erangel map, right? That was actually a military.
We saw them actually holding this spot in their game where Team India also came 5th, 7th on Erangel.
Yeah.
Skull were also staying there in Primorsk.
Yeah.
And they made that earlier rotation to try and get
there. They played it super smart. I mean, once you're in Primorsk, if you're in Primorsk, or if you're in Milta Power, or Milta for that sake, and you have the boat next to you or like nearby, that puts you in such an advantageous position. So it's not really a big issue for them to go anywhere from here. The only thing is when and how they're planning on moving. That could become a difference maker for them. But no, I was just trying to think back. It was the floor original. I think it was the one the military game yesterday, and they're not playing with us today.
We did catch ACR earlier, who are all the way up in 70. They have found themselves a couple of vehicles, and they will indeed start being able to move south because they probably don't want to stay there for too much longer.
Yeah, you wouldn't assume so. I mean, what they could do is go out east towards Lipovka or something like that and go for boats and just say, you know what, if it's going to shift down there anyway, we can just sail all the way. You can do that. It doesn't take too long, and the boat's actually rather quickly anyway. So that's an option. Just like sail all the way out along the side. Now, Daku does lose one player. Do have one player taken down on return, though. No finishes coming in just yet. Rip losing one more player here, and he's getting flushed immediately.
Wow, I mean, there's a lot of bullets coming out. Sky, I think, getting finished off completely. There's a lot of wounded players, though, on Daku, so they probably don't want to overcommit to that. Lancer getting some sight. Is he going to be able to land a bit more damage? He's doing very, very well. That legend down, and there's Paratosh behind the tree. That's beautiful play from Lancer.
That is a good shot coming in there, and that's for sure really impressive done.
He was very, very good on his shots last game. I think he secured at least a couple of frags then.
You have 2 cars.
There's another one right there. Was he just giving him a lift? No, he's not. But they're so weak. Are they going for this?
They all have HP. I mean, the legend did get bailed on, so I guess that's fine. But had they been sitting back there,
I think he's dead now, guys. Okay, now he's definitely.
Okay, guys, let me put it this way. Because sure, it's fine the way they did it. But, by the way, that's not a teabag. That's when they pick up an item.
You know what? It doesn't matter if it's BM or not. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
So,
but no, had he committed to the rest, got him back up, and they had sat behind the tree 2 people ready to shoot at that car, that would have been a big rest in pepperonis for Dagu.
So?
That is a risky play to pull off.
I don't know what came with them, because they're not usually that overconfident about it. They're usually a little more.
They got 2 kills already. They got themselves a 3rd knock, and they're like, you know what? Let's just go for it. I can admire that. Now Max under tons of fire too.
They're just proning though. They look like they were barely retaliating.
Yeah.
So seems like easy kills. That's going to be Kritagia falling, and yeah, Omega. Very easy. Easy peasy. And then you've got King and Satan over the other side. Satan, who's not fallen into a cave.
That's fortunate. There aren't a whole lot of caves on this island.
Yeah, that's true. I just thought it was worth pointing out. Because, when you're not falling into a cave, then the game is not going badly.
There is an observatory. Is that a reverse cave when it's a mountain?
When it's the sky.
Yeah.
So that's an inverted cave above us. Okay. I see.
That's that he can fall into or something. But other than that, no. Then we're pretty cave free.
Yes, indeed. We're not bridge free though. We've got Seoul traveling across. We've got Team India who are moving over to the bridge. So given the amount of space they had, this is very reminiscent of what we saw previously from them. And Scout in his scout position, living after his name.
They sat in this exact position yesterday too. So if you're a team that does your homework and you see this military circle pop, then you're gonna at least assume, I would hope, that they're there and not do any overconfident moves.
Would you assume that they'll drop exactly the same?
Oh yeah, obviously, when they're allowed to. I mean, they went military both games yesterday, even on the plane path that didn't allow for them to go. They still overcommitted and drove all the way down there.
And hopefully all of the players are watching the VODs as well.
I hope so. I mean, that's one of the most important tools to improve, especially when you're playing a tournament where you're going up against the same teams over a long period of time.
Yeah, you need that information.
Circle does guarantee military pretty much as it can. A little crate down there to guarantee it even further. But that circle, that is a lot of water.
Does one go for that crate? It's pretty far out.
I mean, Skull might be able to. It's still in the air, so they probably notice it. And there's no one there to contest them, so I don't see why not.
It could delay them getting a position if that's what they're... If they want a slow burner of a game.
I mean, this is... you see, NIP is swimming for the crate now.
Yeah, they got some distance to go though. They've definitely got some distance.
I don't think that's actually what they're
swimming for. I think they were. I think they were up near the ferry pier.
Yeah, they were. They were just crossing. I was just trying to make you confused for a second.
I was. You just succeeded very well.
Did they do that? It's going to be interesting to see how these teams are planning on moving over here. Because sure, I mean, there aren't enough boats for everyone to take one. Oh, that's going to be Godlike losing a player early on. TG again. Active in the kill feed.
Yeah, very good to see.
Rough position too, because TG came in right as the boat came back to pick up one of the Godlike players. And well, I mean, they obviously heard that boat, so now they just go to shoot at them, and I believe they're all in the water now. That could actually be Godlike wiped real soon.
There's a
Look at this.
I saw Lancer for a second. Oh, okay, we're getting some sniper action out.
So there were 3 guys in a boat for Godlike. And all of a sudden, they realized, just like in the movies, like Home Alone, you're already on the plane, you're in the airport, you're like, we forgot Magic! We forgot him! Turn around, turn around!
He's in a horrible spot. He might go down in a second. He's going to run away, loses half his health. There is gunfire going after him.
Yeah.
And that is going to be, well, Magic's grave, potentially, because I don't think he's got a whole lot of people around him.
Yeah, his teammates are in the water, so that's not
Go on without me, guys.
I like the idea of them coming back with the rest. They wanted to get him up, but...
the thought was there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but clearly, I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, that's again where I say you just got PUBG'd.
Oh,
I mean, it's just
coming soon on the kill feed. There's
cow.
a lot going on over there.
That is a full bada bing, bada boom boat explosion.
They just
vehicle explosion.
Totally eliminated there. So they are out in 16th place. Again, surprise is happening, but we've now got yeah, exactly. I mean, we can definitely promote that. But Seoul NIP looks like they're on the long crossing.
Yeah. It's the Dunkirk with no boats.
There's a Seoul player there on the other side already. So if NIP's tracked through the water, they might think
they
are
might get some kills
favorite.
Off of that, for sure. I don't know why Frost is proning up on the hill there. That's a position.
It's dedication to the position.
Yep, he is studying the ants.
Is planking still big? I don't know.
I mean, if you live in 2009, then it probably is.
That's about as where my expressions come from. So, yeah.
Look at
I'm
that.
not sorry.
I think Mortal know where he is.
He's going to bait them into the boat.
You would assume so, or at least just have him come closer so you can get a. Does he not see him?
Or because he knows he can maybe get an easier shot.
Maybe we only see him because of the X-ray.
Oh yeah, but if he's underwater,
no, he's far down. He doesn't see him. There's no way in hell he sees him. But he is going to drown though if he doesn't get up soon.
So Mortal has some information, but he might think that he's by the boat. So
where did he go?
I think he's punked Mortal. But okay, looks like Mortal is exploring the possibility that he's actually by the coast.
So wasn't there a player right by the boat?
There was.
Where did he go?
But he carried on going towards the coast.
He vanished, though.
I think he vanished to the coast, but we'll see where he's going to pop up in the moment. I promise you. I promise you.
Oh, look at the amount of players still having to cross.
So I think it's
Oh,
Marvi.
so Marvi is there. You just
Yeah.
couldn't see him on the map. I was so confused for a second. Like, did he just disappear?
It's a new vanishing. He found another item in the game.
I guess.
We've got
More guys in
Daku.
the car.
Uh-oh. Don't do this to Toby. His blood pressure's
Thank you.
already going
Thank
up.
you.
We've got BC, though. They are doing the
Look
long
at this.
traversing. Oh, Team Gravity have managed to find him. Lancer, who's doing such a good job. He's going to be found down on the beaches. And they're going to have to finish off that kill as well. Yep, he is out of the game right now.
This is the second time around TG gets to get some on
Nickel.
53 kills.
That's very brave of Nickel to go for that.
He's
I don't know
sitting in the car shooting. Like, why would you want to go out of the car when you can stay in the passenger seat and shoot?
But I think maybe he's just like, guys, I'm going to sacrifice myself. You
Yeah.
guys start making it across.
Yeah.
I'll act as a diversion. So, you know, that could have just been an incredibly selfless play.
I mean, Dago isn't one of those big four-man fighting teams anyway. That what they have been getting points on is having that solo player sneak his way to a good position. So, I mean, if that's what they go for, then it's not the biggest loss to lose two players early on. But of course, you never want to have it happen if you avoid it.
Seoul just kind of like put their hands in the middle and they did like a little cheer and then they all lifted their hands.
Way!
And yeah.
The loot pile. No, it's a thing. You just throw in all the loot you don't need and everybody can pick up what they want.
I like it.
That's a good position. I think Marvi
Oh,
was
they found
spotted
Marvi.
there. Yep, they spotted him down the
That's
hillside.
big because Marvi was one of them that could really have.
Yeah, you could have pushed him on the backside.
Yeah, it could have been scary.
Oh, look at how far they have to cross. And fortunately, they are still inside the circle for a little while. You can see it is closing in. But I think they might be able
That's
to
the
make
same
it
side
on
as Seoul,
over.
though.
Yeah, but now the only thing here is, though, that for those of you guys who might not know, once you're in the water, you cannot use meds. So, so if you're in the blue and you're in the water and you start getting chunked down pretty quickly, that is you going down
Yeah,
and
so
out.
plan your travel early.
Yeah,
Make
especially
sure
if there's a chance to.
Don't forget to check in.
And if you're godlike, then run a little faster. Because you're out in the blue.
Frozen.
No
He's
meds. How do you? I mean,
he not?
this is so confusing to me. And I know there is some difference in the settings in the game from a computer to.
Well, Maximus as well. We can see going down. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay. But how do you not? I mean, these guys have been looting for a while, right? And now they've been rotating. Sure, they got caught off by the boat there. But how do you not have any meds?
He's accepted it.
How do you not
Rip
have
Frozen.
any meds at all? Normally, we see people run around with like 15 bandages and 6 first aids and whatnot.
This is an
How do you have
urgency of an
0,
occasion.
0, 0, no boosters, no nothing? Also, here, just one first aid. Is it because
Oh.
meds are so much harder to find, or the team's just not
Possibly.
prioritize picking them up?
No, maybe just was unfortunate in some of the buildings he went into. It's
That
the
must
only
have
thing I
been
could have speculated.
the most unfortunate play ever. Now, Team India, they got 7th place last time they got a military circle. This time around, they're sitting pretty darn well in it.
Yeah.
Pretty much in the center. They're on the open.
Oh, this
and
is
they have
scary
some
there.
teams to fight off. This is not going to happen. Sorry, TG. You're stuck on the other side.
Prince. What can he do? Ron has found him. He's going to win that. Prince is going to win that fight. There's going to be another player there. He's dropping down on his own. Got to wait to get back up on his feet. Going to jump and just goes for a wild spray. Prince wins that. It's called kind of a 1 versus 2, but more of a 1v1. 1v1. There's a quick
does he
little
fall
loop.
down, dice to the fall damage?
It's holding on. It looks like a...
Just
Oh,
exactly.
wow. Well
Good play.
calculated.
Hero play from Prince, so both Carry and Prince can pull off the good moves. TG
Yeah,
did it one guy
definitely.
across.
Oh, we've lost a team. We've lost two Team
That's-
Gravity players.
Yeah.
Are they making their way across the water?
They have one guy across, but he's not in the circle yet. What does he have on mitts? If we can find out. 9 bandages. Okay, so here's some bandages. Oh, do you want to take that car?
He's found him a first aid.
I mean, oh no, he's
Just
on
use
the
the
wrong
first
side. He's on the wrong side. He's dead. I thought he was actually on the other shoreline,
Sorry.
but he was on the dead man's side. So that's going to be yet another TG player going down.
They've got one more.
They have one more guy, and I mean, of course, every replacement matters. It's just, I mean, if you're caught this far in the blue, you knew pretty much from Circle 1 that it was going to be a military game. It is your fault for not rotating earlier.
It is a bit turbulent though when it goes to.
And I hate sounding. I
military.
mean, I hate sounding like the negative guy because I have said some things that might not be the most positive about how some of these guys play. But the only reason I feel like I'm allowed to do that is because I have also seen them do extremely good.
Yeah, yeah.
And if they're capable of doing all the smart things, then I'm just the kind of guy that'll take for granted that they do the smart things because they're wise enough to do them.
Yeah.
And then I expect them to be able to, I mean,
Not to
play
do
mentally at
other
that
things.
level throughout. And
Yes.
then when they do stuff like this, I'm like, This
you're
just
so good.
upsets. This just upsets everything I just saw you do.
Well, hopefully we've got things that will only please you now. We just see Team India, they've got some fortifications that they can hold down. Although making away from God's Reign, which I saw there. ISO have found the coastline.
They're chilling. Between a rock and a rock.
It's kind of a rock and a hard place.
Is it a rock and a soft place because there's some grass up there?
Or maybe it's slightly muddy.
Rock and a muddy place. That one. I like that. I like that saying better.
Yeah, we might need to work on it still, but...
no, it's okay. Caught between a rock and a muddy place.
Dreams,
That's,
though. He's getting a smoke. He knows there's obviously something going on over there, but he might want to try and escape from this. He's on the absolute edge of the zone, though. And there's Carry, definitely someone to look out for, guys. If you want to see someone who's had some high impact, Carry was doing unbelievable. Over 1,000 damage last game.
Yeah, he was absolutely insane on Vikendi, that's for sure. He's kind of caught in the water, though. Is that between a rock and a wet place?
But what the connotations does that have? I think it's not as bad as a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
I think it's like, but I mean,
He
it's a
is kinda
strange
caught between a rock and a
position.
wet
This is, yeah, honestly, it just doesn't look positive. Got Mortal.
I think they
above
know he's
him.
down there, too.
Yeah, I don't know how he escapes from that, because he's also got a lot of rock climbing to get to.
I mean, you can't get up on that side, so that's possible, but it's not going to be easy, that's for sure.
So this is actually part of the topic that I wanted to talk to you last time, is the trigger discipline. If they don't know he's here,
you don't shoot.
Don't go for the shot.
These placements are so much more worth it in the long run than trying to get kills. Yeah, he's close enough to the circle, and he has a full 4-man team in front of him. They're not expecting anyone to come from behind. He can just let them clean up everything, and then move on forward.
I think the one exception is if you see them all four piled up nicely. Is this now becoming one of those occasions?
I mean, still,
it's a lot to
still
ask
just
for.
one of them to turn around and start shooting the other way.
Yeah.
It's tricky.
Look at Team India. They've also been...
and they're even leaving him now. He has so much space to work with.
Dreams from Orb. Falls. Sol have been doing pretty well with this coastal position, to be fair.
Yeah. They've made it move, that's for sure. Had a good position to start with. Now they're making the move further on forward inside the circle. And this question is kind of back here if they're going to make an aggro push on it or not. Because as you can see, they have the rocks over that they're sitting on right now. But if they want to push on over, there's a lot of teams that'll be able to see them. And now Brawl come full speed forward in. One guy down already. Frost down as well.
And there's Dark, who also gets eliminated. I think there's still Brawl players on the left. Nova King, Iconic falling down with the vehicle, though, but all of a sudden Carry's position's been compromised.
He's like, no, go away, go away.
No, don't spoil this for me.
I've been down here for so long, what are you doing?
And NIP was under fire from Mortal for a second. He was like, I'm not going to get distracted by the player
They're
that's
just
down.
hunting each other. Like, we can share the wall. Okay, I guess now we're friends. Now we're friends.
Okay, Skull, is it nearby too? Oh, no, okay, that's a different spot.
Yeah,
oh no, Carry, is he not going to be able to make it anymore? Oh, he's wounded. He's underwater. Iconic still trying to get a position. Like, right, where can I spray? Look around.
He's trying to dive down to spot him, but Carry's just going to say, you ain't going to get me. I'm going to continue swimming up behind the next rocks.
There's still water in the zone, so he could, in theory, possibly make it. Oh my god, he's
HP.
1 foot out. Oh, no, he gets taken out!
Backside if Carry survives because of this. Keep in mind, guys, Carry cannot heal.
Yeah, he can't do a
He's
thing.
in the water. He cannot heal. Oh, he dies.
Oh,
so unfortunate.
But I think he may have got himself an extra placement from that anyway, because I think that was
he
the
did have
last
one
Brawl
placement,
play.
but that's funny. That is funny. That is actually
the fight
funny.
for survival. And we see Trance down Team India starting to get some kills too. Are they going to be able to get to the full bench of that? Oh,
how that grenade. Had it been a bit further down, there would have been a full team
Oh,
over. This one, though, gets himself one more knock.
How many more frag grenades has he got, actually? Oh, he's slipped all the way down! I don't know if he wanted to go that far.
Oh, I don't think he did.
Is there a way back up? Can he make it back up?
He can get back up to where he was, but even from there, I don't think he can get all the way up.
Ninja might find it, but he's just... I think he just got put onto the floor. There's Aladdin that's still up.
Aladdin got a call out. G needs to come help you out. Maybe that's what all the smoke is for.
Yeah, I think he's going to be able to crawl over towards Aladdin too, so... Team India, I mean, they just set up shop over here. It's a bit of a nightmarish last game that they had, but they can absolutely make up for it on here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, they're a team that are not afraid to take fights at all. Right now they have a compound that's outside the next circle, but they can just go aggro on all of this.
And they have managed to pick up Ninja.
Yeah.
But now Team India, oh, Ninja can't catch himself a break. Aladdin trying to shoot over, does catch the vehicle a little bit, but he's opening up the angles quite a bit. He's weak, and why? If he turns around, he should have some vision. There's 5 seconds left on this revive. Does why want to try and go for this?
He has to see him. He has to spot him.
Surely.
He knows he's resting. What?
It's very... The grass is very deceptive, right?
But he was sitting up.
He's just going to blow up the vehicle instead. There it is. It has blown up. They haven't gone down because of it. Aladdin's still on the floor at the moment.
Third knock on the... He even had a nade too. You could have thrown that like ages ago.
Is that going to do it? Aladdin's going to move away from it. Oh, it's taken them out. And it looks like ISO are going to be eliminated in 7th place over there.
But then he throws one more nade when he just got the double kill.
It's just a check, you know.
Yeah, but that nade could have come in so handy later on.
This
utility management. Utility management is key in this game.
Well, hopefully for a sake, he's got a couple more spare where it came from.
Ow.
Oh, this is hurting Mortal quite a lot.
They're all dying to the blue, guys.
He doesn't have any more first aids, actually, so he needs to get a move on.
At all, not even close.
He's got the sprint out, he's got his fists out, but he's not going to make it. Mortal goes down to the play zone. It's not what we wanted to see. Like, pluses and minus. Soul, once again, breaking into the top 7 twice in a row. That's important, but you don't want to see Mortal dying like that. That kind of takes away the sweetness of what we just tasted.
Yeah, it's not the kind of way you want to... I think they still have one player alive, though. Yeah, they do. Up there on the top side.
Yeah, they got people.
They got Viper.
They got
a solo player alive.
If you got Viper, then
he was a solo snake that made it to 3rd place last game, and now we'll see what he can do here. Hopefully he took off his pink pants and now he's going to die.
This is going to hurt a lot. That's going to be Viper out. That's going to be Soul out in 6th place, at least for their sake. Accumulating some more points than they've been accumulating yesterday.
Yeah.
But a big threat has just been removed for the other teams to not worry about anymore.
So Team India, sure, they had a slumber game 2, but they had a 2nd place in game 1 with a ton of kills to it. And now they have 7 kills and a chance to get a win again. I mean, they're 4 guys alive. They have level 3 gears galore. And, I mean, they're sitting pretty well in it. Now, only thing for them is that they did just get kinda shifted away from the circle. Look at this, the amount of solo players alive here. And then you have Skull down there. Just like, where the hell do I get up from here?
It is Team India obviously looking great. God's Reign, I mean, I don't think they had the best of games on the last map of Vikendi, but with 3 players alive, you've got to be feeling fairly good.
Yeah, you see all of Gods. I mean, they're just proning it out there. They don't have that much cover. They have their vehicles on a rock, I believe, to hide out behind. But the thing is, for a lot of these teams, they've already spent all their utility trying to get to where they are now. And well, for them to go any further, it's not going to be impossible, but it's going to be extremely tricky.
Sing is going to be. I'm going to be quiet. I'm not going to be found because Sing has been playing solo for ages. He had a whole team in front of him before, and he didn't end up shooting. We've lost a Team India player.
Man, no good shots thrown in there. And Team India, they're getting torn apart here. They must know that Sting is right next to them, right? He's still getting knocks all over the place.
Is he picking them off? Oh, they found him. Okay, so we've got Team Gravity out in 5th position at the moment, but now Orb, they're taking a little bit of damage, but Ashish from Skull.
I think Ashish might be able to get up here. If not, then he's... Oh, no, he's dead. He's dead, for sure. It's way too steep.
Yeah, I don't think. And all of your rock climbing expertise.
Ain't gonna. We have to be like a Skyrim pro in order to get up these hills. Or like vanilla World of Warcraft, we could jump over all the...
yeah, exactly.
Like, just keep slamming that spacebar, and eventually you will get up that mountain.
I will not give up.
Fortunately, that's not a thing in this game.
So Team India repositioned themselves completely. They're still... Oh my god, that was... move sketched me out for a short moment, but just repositioning that vehicle. All the smokes on the field too.
Kind of want to see how many placemaking. Oh no, just exactly doesn't get the first hit off. That could potentially have been the placement had he been able to stay put, but not going to happen. Yeah. We only have 3 teams alive now.
So that's Skull in 4th, just to confirm for you guys watching. And with God's Reign trying to maybe upset Team India that had 4 alive earlier. That could be a really good grenade, actually. It's just out of reach, narrowly.
1 inch further, and that would have been Manu on fire, literally.
It's old Gatak who's playing alone at the moment. Can he try and hope that Team India and God's Reign take each other out somehow and he can benefit after? That's going to be a no. I'm going to be shut down on that thought very quickly. as they'll be all going in 3rd place. Now, either God's Reign or Team India are going to get the lion's share of the points. We have got a big split, though, between Kratos and Scout, whereas Maniopi and Saksham, they want to keep together.
2v2. You have the guys caught down behind the burned out vehicle and the rock, and then you have the other guys completely split off, but they have all the info, and the last circle is going to go dead center. So, well, I mean, in the end of things,
I feel
it's
like
going to go in the way of Team India.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like I favor them a lot, and we're watching both the Team India players now. And I mean, it's just, they've got so many eyes on. It's so difficult at the moment for God's Reign to move out. I don't know if they've got any more utility left.
I mean,
but
Scout has a nade. Why is he not throwing it yet? He knows exactly where they are.
He was throwing stuff earlier, but maybe he felt that it wasn't connecting, so he wants a better angle. I think he's got a grenade out now.
He knows exactly where they are. He has to throw that nade. That could be a double, actually.
Oh, is it going to hit? It's just off the mark. I think it actually went a bit too
just
far.
Behind, yeah, exactly. Had he thrown his bike at the crate, then it would have been a kill.
Saksham is starting to look away because he's not seeing any information, and this snake strategy, again, they're playing away from each other, so not only have you got to make that difficult play to find out information on one, you got to do it on a second.
But this is what Team India will do that the other teams don't dare. They take control. They dare to go up and say, you know, we'll take the fight to you, and look at how much control of the map they have now. They know exactly where to expect them coming out from, and these guys are completely pinned in the corner.
Yeah, so as soon as the circle moves, I mean, I do not see a way for God's Reign to win this.
It's going to have to be insane reactions. You have 2 level 3 helmets as well. That's going to be a couple of bullets you can tank as of headshots.
There's no vest at all for Kratos, although it's going to be hard to hit the chest area.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Full level 3 on Scout. Best thing would be if Scout gets spotted out, Kratos can start shooting after, because that will allow for Scout to be the tank.
The zone's creeping in there.
Yeah, has to keep going. You cannot risk taking any circle, like any ticks here. You cannot risk taking circle damage here.
If anything, they haven't moved enough in the time they've had, and now God's Reign are opting for this similar strategy. It looks like a player's being found. It is Scout, and can he fire back in time? No, he's going to lose his life. We've just got Kratos alive. He's going for the quick reload, but he's got to keep moving. Can he find Saksham? He's just trying to burst by, but can't do it. God's Reign come out on top. It did not seem to matter at all with that optimized strategy from Team India. They were found.
Everything happened the way Team India wanted it to. The tank was under pressure. When that happens and you have 2 guys shooting at you, know it's 2v2. When you're that last guy in Kratos, you stand up and you start spraying, because once you get further up, you get that better vision. You'll know exactly where they're hiding. And with both of them, because they were shooting probably like 2-3 seconds over towards Scout, that would have been the time he needed to take them both out.
The amusing thing is the difference in points won't be that much, because we've got 12 kills, I think, from Team India. And we've got 3 over there on the other side. So
yeah, 2 of the 3 kills were just the final 2 kills.
Yeah, so even though Team India, they managed to have a great start, they dropped a military base, they couldn't get the win from it. It doesn't secure the win by any means.
Cursed.
God's Reign, they managed to do it.
Yeah, I mean, Gods, they played it super safe. They didn't want to do anything. I think they were the team that were running around up on the mountainside earlier when we had that solo player that didn't want to take any confrontations. They were the ones that were going 4 guys into 1 US. They smashed that US into that exact rock, and they were sitting there for the last 7-8 minutes of the game. Just not doing anything, just hiding it out. And I miss some of these guys daring to take some chances more. I know that it's a placement-heavy point system, but if you're in a position like this where everyone's running in the open towards you, shoot them, because you have cover.
Yeah. No, indeed. I'm still surprised at the end of this game where we saw God's Reign very, very static. Team India being a little bit more moving.
Daring, I guess.
Daring, proactive, also starving information because they are going through the grass and they're, they can't be seen. But it didn't seem to matter. The circle certainly didn't favor them in that occasion.
And these
right
guys
when it did so much before. I tried this.
You just can't. I mean, it's military games and it's super rough. But I mean, I'm still surprised by how few mitts some of these guys have. And then this move from Nutty, I believe it was. He sees him jump down towards him. His mate just got knocked, right? He sees him jump down, and instead of shooting him while he's falling down, he just says no, and runs away. Like, why wouldn't it just start shooting at the guy when he comes falling into your face? Like, he starts running instead.
Hold down the shoot button.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That can help so much. Seoul, again, I've got to cover them. They they did better than they did yesterday. Again, we're getting to see them in the top 7, but it's still not ideal. They're keeping himself in content. Like, they're doing what they need to do to hang through the weekends, but it's not like it's not an inspirational performance.
No, I mean, I kind of want to see if did Carrot drown?
This Carry moment.
Did Carrot drown? Oh, we can't see. If Carrot drowned or if he got shot, I'm actually not sure.
Yeah,
I think he might. I think it just exactly didn't come up to the surface.
That would be a huge
enough.
shame if that is what took him out. That would be a massive, massive shame.
He survived for so long, and in the end, he drowned because of it. Skull had taken so much time to, and then Mortal. I mean, he could have run earlier. They had the smokes there. Run.
Yeah, that was very that perplexed me.
If the alternative is you going down anyway, I mean, you might as well just give it a chance. Sure, the guys from Team India can sit up in the compound and spot you, but they're probably gonna see you anyway, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. There's some. I don't know if it's just blunders, but we are. I mean, again, these guys are some of the best in all of India, and they're going up against some of the best in all of India. And when that's all said and done, the guys that will win from here will go up against some of the best in the world, and there will not be room for those type of mistakes.
Yep, indeed. And look at that, actually, Team India, they do manage to get 1 more point, despite getting the second placement.
Yeah.
So God's Reign, I mean, very quiet game, but you get the placement points. That's still going to be hugely beneficial. At this point, it's not a case of I need to beat everybody, it's I just need to beat the lower portion.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And Skull as well, lasting a long time. They've been frequently in our top 3. Team Gravity, a shout to that. I believe it was Singh who was just holding on for dear life for a long time. Again, that trigger discipline that I wanted to cover earlier. You see targets in front of you, and you know the best thing is actually don't shoot. Sometimes you don't go for the frag.
We see the total kill leads in here. Team India Scout on top of things. Couldn't finish it off when he had the chance there. Then we see
Manu OP. Manu OP, the only player to get kills on God's Reign, actually.
Yeah, he got the double in the end.
And 3 to Team Gravity players as well.
I mean, they did get the triple, or the quad kill on RIP with the vehicle explosion.
Yes.
So that obviously helped out quite a bit.
For sure. But it's always good. They're getting kill points too. That's wonderful news from it. And Lancer, I know Dakio, I think they had a bit of a peculiar game, but Lancer's regularly been getting some frags, and it's good to see because that wasn't so much on the Friday.
The snake on Vikendi as well, making his way on forward.
He's been good with the sniper too.
Yeah, true. So, that was the kills. And we have some stats coming in here. Look at that, Team India. They had that compound for the longest of time. 3,000. They did enough damage to take out half the server. I mean, that's absurd.
I'm really curious, actually, how it's going to reflect on the individual performances. We're going to get someone who's looking like NIP's carry.
I mean, they were just sitting on the roof of that 3-story house and shooting at everyone when they were out on the cliffside.
You are essentially a turret at that point.
Oh, yeah.
So
you just shoot at everything that moves, you just start shooting at.
Yeah.
Look at that, 1,200 damage coming in from Scout. He had 5 kills only. This goes to show how much it's like, headshot one guy, down behind the rock, heal again. Headshot it again, boom.
Yeah.
And then they know, the thing for them is, then they know at that point, once we're fighting these teams later, they won't have vests, they won't have helmets. We've knocked them X amount of times, so they won't have time to get the res up even. Kratos only, I say, 538 damage.
It's a great amount of damage. He looks so mediocre when you compare him to the other.
Exactly.
But 10,000 meters covered by Twister.
I mean, it's a military circle, right? It's always those tough rotations.
Yeah, and how much of that was swimming as well is what I'm curious about.
Look at the comparisons here. I mean, 82 damage done as opposed to 700, and they only got 1 point different in between them.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were expecting to. When we saw already some players getting a lot of damage from God's Reign, it's like there's not a lot more damage they have left between the players, and so we can see here Saksham going up, and Aljit, that's really, really like decent amount, 464. You were saying before how like 350, 400 or that kind of area is
above
really
average
good.
for sure. Yeah.
I mean, absolutely fair play, but it's still God's Reign that managed to get those 30 points from it. And I think they'll be feeling pretty good. Now that we're past the halfway mark, at this stage you can start feeling, okay, as long as we're not terrible, and as long as we don't have really, really like awful starts, then you can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Also, you can start putting some math together, because we have seen like 2/3 of the team, or half the teams play over half the games they're going to play. If you take their average points times 2, you will get kind of the margin or the knowledge of what we need to get in order to make sure that we're in that top 24 spots.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, I just want to direct you over to all the information that you can get on the tournament. We've got clubopen.pubgmobile.com. You can get so much information over there. Do check it out. As well, big thanks to Vivo, the official phone for the PUBG Mobile Club Open. And do remember to hit follow or subscribe on YouTube or Twitch, wherever you happen to be watching.
One more game though. I'm both happy and also kind of sad that we've had 2 out of 3 Erangel games be on military, because they're just so unique. I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, you have to be able to play military games. It's part of the game. That's just how it is. I hope though. I really hope that we go somewhere else in the next game.
I want a school one, but I mean, I feel like it's wasted words to be pointing out where I'd like the circle to fall. But to me, that's so reminiscent.
We can have hopes.
It's still very reminiscent, because you know, you're talking about if you just keep dropping and you keep shooting straight away and revealing yourself, you know, it's a sign of insanity. But that's actually I kind of like that.
Kind of like just spraying.
I like to drop hot, and if I die, then it's great. I can play. I can hit play again. I can die again. But sometimes that 1 in 20 chance, I'll get the thing, and I will blast away all the other 20 people that dropped on school, and I will feel like, ignore the other games, I am now the god of the server.
Oh, that's how it is.
So, I mean, right, it makes you feel good when you're that last person surviving, and then the rest, then you got to survive the rest of the game. And I mean, that's a whole different story.
The last guy to leave school. That's that's an accomplishment.
Well, in that context, yes.
in all contents it is, I guess you could say. But yeah, I agree.
No, for sure. But indeed, who are we hoping to do a little bit better than before? We'll put Seoul aside, because I mean, again, we talked about it so much.
That I am waiting for here is actually 2 teams. First place, second place yesterday, coming soon. Had a really good going. Then it got kind of butchered by the whole military thing. And RIP.
Yes.
Let alone the fact that they've had that one game with 17 kills. Just goes to show what they're capable of. But they have not been putting up numbers that are anywhere near that, either since or before.
And RIP is actually a team that's been present at the India series. You know, you're qualifying over a lot of other teams in order to make it to these events.
I mean, they had 24 kills after the last game in total off of 6 games. 17 of those in 1. Just goes to show how, not bad, but, well, I guess you can say bad, at least kills-wise, the other games have been, right? You cannot sort of bank everything on having that one good game. Sure, maybe you can when it's a top 24 scenario, but if you're, I mean, you gotta stay in the top if you want to beat the top, right? No matter what the limit is.
I think we were comparing the likes of NIP and RIP, and the same was actually NIP. They've got 2 wins so far. So RIP, the more experienced team, haven't been able to make it. But I totally agree with what you're saying as well on coming soon. But guys, what we're going to do is going to go to a break. We've got just 1 more game left for this weekend, and then after that, unfortunately, I have to say goodbye to us, which I'm very sad about. But guys, we'll be back in a few minutes' time. Join us then, and we'll go back over to Erangel.
Where's everyone?
Capture the night with triple rear camera, 48 million quad pixel sensor.
Zombie, Darkest Night, the newest mode in the zombie universe, is here. This time, the rules are different. No more parachuting, as players will be placed at random locations on the map when the match begins, and there is no single winner. Players must work with their teammates to spend one long night in the match and stay alive until the sun comes up. Waves and waves of zombies will spawn during each of the 3 foggy periods at night, and supplies should only be scavenged when the fog fades. The main objective is not to defeat other players, though this doesn't mean they are harmless. Players may need to work with other teams when necessary, but should also watch their backs in case the Fragile Alliance goes south. This will be a unique experience for every player involved. This new mode also comes with a passive skill for every player. Understanding the skills will be the key to staying alive in this long night. Can you ride out the night?
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
Yo, Mike, are you ready?
Wait. Should I go with the UMP9 or use it?
Sun's out, guns out.
Gear up for summer.
Ready?
Okay. Well,
Ready?
Sorry. I'm late.
Any plans for fall break?
Happy graduation!
you made it, bro. So proud of you.
Sorry I'm late. What a day.
I hear ya.
Get
Come
this.
on!
Hey,
Watch out! Take this!
that's
Hey!
the real battleground.
Are you ready?
Do you play PUBG Mobile?
Hello everyone and welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Club Open. We're here for the spring split, the regional group stages and the last game of the weekend for the Indian region. My name is Zoot, joined by Toby, and we've had a nice, interesting weekend of a lot of fun games.
It's been good.
We can have a bit of a climax on Erangel and see what we've got for us.
Hopefully we'll get a good final match. I'm not going to throw out any I want it to go here or there. I just don't want it to go military.
You just don't want it. That's it. That's your kind
excuse me,
request. To
as much
to
as
the
I
lords
love
above.
military games because they kind of sort of shake the pile up, like shake everything up a little. When that's all we get, then it doesn't shake up anything. Then it's just
I
all we
find
get.
it so entertaining though, seeing the crosses of the water and how people
yeah,
decide to
it is
traverse,
interesting,
and
sure.
actually the element of danger that everyone seems to put on the bridges,
Yeah.
rightfully so most of the time. And then the drama that ensues from that, because we get some hilarious moments of that NIP carries just dancing in the water, and then who knows if he drowned or got shot at the end. I mean, you won't see that if it's a land-based zone. Then you get different types of drama. That's for sure.
For me, what I like the most in competitive PUBG, whether it being on console, mobile, or PC, is to throw in a couple of circles, and I think that's where we're going with the competitive settings, the way they're set up now as well, that brings out the best in the players.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have these really extreme edge circles or hard shifts, and it's just like, even if you're the top team in the world, you just get thrown off. It's not always the kind of situation you want to be in.
Indeed. Well, we've got a flight path now here as we move on to the last map of the weekend. This obviously doesn't indicate that it's going to be military. We'll find that up in just a few moments. But players are going to be starting to drop. We're expecting possibly Team India to maybe look at going to the military base again. It's worked out so well for them in the past. But... and we've got God's Reign going early, maybe heading over towards a Lipovka or something like that. But and also Skull, who tends to go around the Primorsk area. We'll have to see if they're going to follow the same trend, or if they really want to do something new, spice things up a little bit. And maybe Skull are doing that actually.
Yeah, they're going further north. I was going to say I would expect them to go down there, considering how easy an access they have for this plane path. But then again, I mean, southern plane path last time around it meant southern circles too. But let's go. No, you know, I'm just gonna wait and see it unfold.
Don't want to speak too soon. Seoul tend to actually go a little bit at different places almost every time, it seems. ACR were up in 70 on previous occasion. Team India, I mean, okay, ACR, I see there's no Novo. In fact, Team India, I mean, nothing's changed at all. Now we see it. So kind of centralizing over on the ruins, but I mean, there's a lot to work with here, and the majority of the teams fall by default within the circle.
Yeah, it's not the worst circle. We had a western circle on day 2, I believe, no, day 1 that was actually.
This was like the swamp circle.
Well, yeah, exactly, went out over there. It was a pretty funny ending. We've had one going up towards the the Everest area up there as well. Now we see Godlike making their way down into the shelter to get themselves some loot down in safety of cover from the red zones that we don't have on competitive settings.
No, indeed. And I don't know, maybe some tier 3s down there that they can find. And we've got Darku. Again, Lancer is the player that I've been watching out for quite a lot in Darku.
He's been doing good today.
He's been really, really fun to watch. And
also, he's been the only one to watch because
most of them
all the other guys.
That's true. That is true. I've got RIP and ACR sharing Novo, it seems.
That is not something you see done too often. 2 teams in Novo. I talked about RIP coming into this match. Now ACR, they have got things going for them today, but RIP haven't.
Team Gravity gets school and the apartments again, but we have got CS right next to BC. That was an angle for a moment, but White up alone just on the other side of this door. Is Dron aware of this? He's going to get a shot on Torpedo, but all of a sudden a player comes out of nowhere but is going to fall, and that's going to be a death. I think White...
How in the universe did White not even hit him?
Yeah, he had such leeway in order to do it, and Dron, you know what, he's taking it slow, can find a little bit of loot if necessary, but that is a kill secure and a point secure at that.
That looked very interesting. I thought that was a kill, a guaranteed kill for White. That White has been throwing up some really good performances both today and yesterday, and this one was just a bit of a blunder.
But it does happen. You were talking about just before we went to break, actually, coming soon, seeing a strong finish to the weekend for them.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't so great for them last map, but already losing a quarter of your team, that's it's going to be painful.
Yeah, not the kind of start you want at all, that's for sure. We see Atlantis, Everest, Watertown, or whatever you want to call it. Out here, Sunken City, some calls it as well. Trying to...
Sunken City.
Yeah.
I like that. I've always gone for Atlantis myself, but I like Sunken City.
Yeah,
this is where if I mess up my drop going to school, I then usually end up there.
Yeah, I never go there. I get so triggered by moving around in the water. Like sometimes you swim, sometimes you run slowly, sometimes you can use your weapon, sometimes you can't. It's so confusing. Not a big fan of running around there. Now CS, they lost 1 player. Wait, there's red zones now?
We do have a red zone.
What?
It appears. But you know what? Coming soon is going to decide to get out of there, or they can just get into cover. If that's fine.
I mean, at least they're inside the city, and they will get cover. So
we can see where it is.
So yeah, apparently there's red zones now.
A decent amount of distance too.
You can see all the players. They're probably like us. Like, wait.
You know what? Let's delay.
Let's just chill inside for a second, because.
We don't want to roll the dice on this, so we definitely don't want to roll the dice on this. And we've got
interesting.
God's Reign being absolutely fantastic. Had a quiet but successful last game.
Yeah, I mean they didn't take a lot of fights, but they did get 30 points and a win. So ain't nobody gonna be complaining about that.
Absolutely not. And Team India, we see them down in military base every single time, so that's usually where they anchor themselves from. But this time they're going to have to do a little bit more traveling in order to get themselves in the zone. So a very different game style I expect we'll see from Team India. But we know they can play all types of game styles, given their consistency through the tournament.
Maybe the red zone is one of those. You know what? These guys, they're too passive. We need to we need to shove them out there. You know, we need to force them to fight one another, and then they just toss a big artillery barrage in your face instead.
And then they all get wiped.
And then they all get killed. Like, ain't nobody gonna win this fight. I've always wondered if the last fight of a game, 1v1, someone has a nade, he throws it, and one explosion kills both you and your opponent. Can a battle royale finish in a tie?
I actually would have thought you would have, Tommy, given...
I've never seen it happen before.
Never been seen?
I've seen where one nade got thrown, but like one explodes split second before the other, and they both technically die, but
really?
they don't.
Okay.
Because you could see easily that one was in the kill feed before the other. But if it's the same explosion, you'd argue that they both died at the same time.
What I would expect is the person who killed themselves... I think so the person that killed themselves may become second, because the self-kill might... But it also it depends on a few things.
Before, like, on how the coding is done.
I don't know. It's
I just never had it happen when I've casted. I mean, on the plus side of 600 games of PUBG, so...
We could test it, and we could find out.
You know what, it's probably... You can probably just Google it. I'm sure people know.
Someone knows.
I've just never even considered it to be a factor. Can a PUBG game end in a tie? I'm sure the likes of Waggy Jag and all those test nerds have probably done the myth busting on those things already.
Absolutely. Well, this BC versus CS fight continues as Shinra's going to pick off another player. Just Raj and Noti left alive, and hello. Got a little grenade coming in. Shinra spotted that one.
Nice cooking there too, and that's always what you got to do. Some people they forget that it's a thing, but do make sure to cook those nades, and then when you throw them, it doesn't allow for your opponent to hear like the clink, 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 and then run away. If they explode right as they get on their feet, there's no counterplay to it. That's like a free kill.
Of
course, we're trying that you can hit it, but what we just saw, exactly, Torpedo. Where are you, by the way?
He's been one of the phenomenal players today, and he's...
he's inside the house, behind him.
I think, has he got DY9 near him?
Yeah, he's getting rest. He's getting rest as we speak. But they had lost one player already. Now they know that one is committed to the rest, so they know that Shin is kind of by himself. He does get a knock, though. Gets stacked now behind the wall again. You see Raj is full on committed to it, but he got a little too over-aggressive on this one, too. So 2 players gone down now. It's a 2v3 in the favor of
CS, yeah. I feel like we see you've just kind of fallen into the trap a little bit. They went out for the kill, but there was a brilliant crossfire angle from Torpedo and DY9. And Shinra was absolutely fine, going to be able to wipe them out. And we do see BC go down first. That unprompted as well. I don't think they needed to make that play.
Not at all. They went completely over-aggressive, and they got killed because of it.
Yeah, that's
I mean, in all fairness, you would probably argue that Coming Soon is the better fighting team, at least from what we've seen in this tournament, than what we've seen in the other days from BC. But that one was uncalled for. There was no reason. They got the knock on the first guy. They have the other guy down to low HP. They had the ankle. Once you get your player knocked, you can crawl back in, get the rest of it, then you can re-engage the fight, or you can back off.
Yeah.
Here, they just went in dying pretty much already.
I think they felt that it was a safer angle to approach than it in fact was, because from that building where they originally took down Torpedo, I mean, that was the angle. That's what they had to watch out for.
Also, if they want to make that push, do it as you knock him. They waited, and then they did it after he got rest, and it's like completely pointless to make the run afterwards.
While DY9 was picking up Torpedo, that's it. That's a brilliant point
Exactly. That's when you want to do it, but it didn't really work out their way. And BC goes down early and will, well, I mean, they'll get a few days off, I guess. They'll probably be practicing, but that's their last game of the day.
That is true. That is true. Team India have made it across the bridge, so they're definitely on their feet. You can see the loot available here. We've got some level 3s.
MK14, one of the best guns in the game. Red Zone has started. I would feel bad for anyone dying to it. You know what I mean? It's one of those...
Yeah.
Every game matters. Yeah, they get 12 games. Imagine. I mean, okay. So here's my question to you.
At least the teams
How many teams will we see with 4 people in one vehicle this game, with red zones being a factor?
Oh god, I don't want to imagine. I also don't want to imagine your reaction to that if we do see it.
I would just laugh my butt off. That would be the funniest and worst thing ever.
Oh, we saw Team India starting to sort out their vehicles. Orb are together in the Georgia Pole docks. They're inside the zone at the moment, but yeah, there's some time until we see a shift in it. So basically, players can decide now: do they want to stay static, or do they want to make a move in expectation of something?
You can see all of Orb making that run around over here in the container area.
Parkour as well.
Yeah, they're all jumping around there, and then they nade themselves.
Dreams.
And now we have a full team driving around inside.
It actually happened.
He just he naded himself.
Okay, yeah, but the vehicles in the red zone.
Oh yeah, and they were
too.
driving in the red zone. It was
Yeah.
scaring me a lot. But yeah, Dreams naded himself. I don't know if that was them myth busting something, or or if that was just a.
So you can't do it yet. There's not 2 players left.
Guys, this is not what we were talking about.
Well, Darku, we've got all alive and kicking. Oh, most of the teams haven't had much. Actually, with the 11 minutes of play that we've had, it's been largely very quiet, apart from that one team fight. That was a bit of a surprise. Seoul also looking, I think, to have a good finish to the weekend. It's been one to forget for them. I know a lot of people have been cheering for them. Viper's been pretty standout. He's managed to get the team across the line with a few extra points than they otherwise would have got, so definitely can celebrate on his behalf, but not too much, because they really, I'd say, like, need a top 5 today to kind of show that they still have the shape.
One thing, because I've been trying to kind of do some troubleshooting, I guess you could say, and what's not been working for them. Like, what's the reason they haven't had success? And one of the things I can come up with, and it's, I mean, there's no guarantee in this, but if they're one of the teams from India that has been looked at to be the team to be like the lords of Indian PUBG Mobile, then obviously you would expect other teams to have focused the most on them.
Do you think they just are
So-
countering them?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you're going into a tournament, you have 32 opponents in the tournament. Obviously, you're not going to be looking at everyone in super detail. But if you're going to focus on one team over another, you'd probably want to take a good look on what the best team does, either to do things that are similar, or to like try and figure out how to avoid fighting them, right? And here, I feel like every single time we've had Seoul in a position where they've had a good spot to take a fight, other teams have been like, hey, we expect you to do that. So even though the idea is good, it has always seemed like the other guys, they kind of worked around it better than what they do when they go up against other teams. Because you can see one team going up against another where it's kind of even odds and it's just weird, but every time they go up against Seoul, they kind of prepared for what they're going to be doing.
I think maybe some of it can be attributed to the fact there's regular events and things going on, and now a lot of teams are going to be learning very quickly.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
I think it's definitely part of that everyone's watching Seoul, but also Seoul can't watch everybody else, and everybody else is getting better so fast.
It's always hard to be the new guy in class, because all the classmates just have to learn one name, but you have to learn the names of everyone in the class, right? The circle did go a bit further north. You see the yellow compound up here and alongside the chopsticks area. We see Team India putting themselves inside.
Also look at a little headshot.
Getting looted up.
Kratos, and he's found some damage actually.
Tapping away with the M4, trying to see if he can get himself some headshots
Exposing
connected.
himself a little bit though on that.
Well, you can always fall back down.
Yeah. Sorry if that stray headshot happens. We can see Seoul actually picking up another there. They are using those snipers to get the damage done.
Kratos did get knocked though, so as you said, a bit over
Okay.
He did get knocked there.
So
So,
you're taking risks. If you're exposing like the upper portion of your body there, that's dangerous, especially when you've got such open angles.
and when you're up against teams with the skill set a lot of these guys have.
Yeah.
So good thing here for coming soon. They just got 4 points. And only, I mean, I say only, but only losing one guy. But that one guy can be the difference maker for the next fight they take when they go into a 3v4 fight.
True.
And that's the issue, right? That's where you have to waver. Do you really want those 4 points early? Or would you rather not have the 4 points and take 4v4 fights in top 5 situations rather than 3v4 fights?
Yeah.
Because that's where the points difference is really going to matter, right?
I wonder if they're actually going to be able to find any way they can hold down Team Gravity. Seem to have a health shortage, but it looks like they're all bandaging up at the moment. I wonder if... This is an interesting little area they've got. They've got all the vehicles that they've just sunk into this position. What do you make of this?
Well, I mean, they're safe, but also they are a big pile of oil that just needs one nade to ignite.
That could be a big explosion.
The entire place is going to blow. I've seen that before. Not there, but up in some other areas where they park all the vehicles in one corner. They jump up on them to get all the vision over the cars.
Yeah.
And then one nade comes rolling in from the side and you wipe an entire team. So... So let's not have that happen.
Yeah, we cross our fingers it doesn't happen to Seoul, but we will find out. For our humor, it would also be great. ACR.
Oh yeah, I mean, the worse the situation for the player, it's always like this. The worse the situation for the player, the better the content for the viewer.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's great from our point of view.
It's amazing. We're loving it. We're loving it. Not complaining about it at all. You see how everyone's on the edge, and then you have up by Navi. I mean, you can pretty much cut the map in half, and you have 3 teams in the north.
Do you know what's nice? We don't have anybody in the zone at the moment, outside of the zone.
Yeah.
I mean, now the circle's changed, that changes, but we've got no one walking in the blue
Issue
or
here
anything
is
like that.
There's pretty much only 1 or 2 spots left that I can see in this next circle that is gonna be obtainable. That isn't not a spot you have to fight for. And right now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I counted 4 teams inside the circle. That means 11 teams essentially fighting for 2 spots. There's gonna be a lot of fighting happening, and it's already starting now.
Yeah.
He just sends the vehicle down towards
Oh my god.
them.
They got out in time though. They managed to find them, but it is Trance who's getting a ton of work done at the moment. But Gathak hasn't finished speaking just yet as he's going to kill Kratos and Trance.
What the hell is going on here? 1 more kill, it's gonna make it!
Moving forward, does manage to take him out. Team India are going to eliminate Orb.
They're all coming back. Res!
Wow. You know, fair play to Orb. They didn't go for just gunning the bodies, and they could have secured themselves some kill points. They tried to play for the team victory win.
It was a smart play. They just got outgunned. I mean, they got killed there. It was a fair fight. I mean, they traded 3 for 3, essentially, and then Then you had the last player from India survive with like 10% HP. Could have gone either way.
Well, Team India are going to make a full recovery there, most likely. It looks like they don't seem to have too many teams close to them, and they had a lot of coverage, so they should be absolutely fine. We see God's Reign coming in from the north, but they've got Team Gravity on the side. They've got a vehicle, so we've got gunfire coming out from that, but that vehicle is packed with Team Gravity players.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for that red zone to land in the middle of this circle. Because there's going to be so many players around here. Jonathan going down already. Frost secures himself last kill. And also Ash is down immediately after. Godlike losing a player now, 2 in the vehicle.
Team Gravity, they lose another. They're just dropping from the vehicle.
Through all the teams.
Oh no, Team Gravity? They're all out.
They got wiped.
And that's the dangers right there.
Yeah.
So Toby's top tips to not be 4 in a vehicle. I mean, that is the example of how wrong it can go.
And if you are 4 in a vehicle, don't drive through all the teams.
They couldn't have driven through more teams, I think.
Yeah,
there was a lot of teams they
there are 13 teams live, and I feel like I saw at least 6 or 7 teams shoot at them. So not the kind of situation you want to be in. We still have the guys from Team India.
Did they pick up all of them?
Chilling down here. They have looted up everything. I think they did pick up everyone, but one went down just before. I'm not sure exactly.
So I know I saw 3 people waiting for a res, but I assume there was enough time.
I'm pretty sure they got the reses up and all because there was only one guy that had been knocked at that point.
Yeah.
Skull loses 1, loses 2. Ashes goes down immediately after. And up here got like only 1 guy down so far. They did manage to make that rotation on over. But these sacks, for those you guys who don't know, are very much breakable. So you just need that one wolf to come over and say whoo on the on the wooden shack, and it will indeed fall apart.
Indeed, while ACR, they've got a lot of people to scout out, and they've got 2 people in one building, but the others are spread out, and they've got huge vision. Look at the high ground that they have. They're in a good spot. These are like the plains of Erangel.
They're in a good spot, but the thing for them is that they have to realize that they're in a priority compound, which means that most likely teams won't push you, but if they do, that's going to be one of those full speed forward. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Kind of putting like, well, they're just charging on forward towards you, and you have to be ready for it.
ACR aren't, I don't think they practice the fights enough necessarily, because they don't seem that confident. They have got a good defensive position to work from, but we need to see some big plays from them to hold on in case they do indeed get challenged.
They will have to. I mean, look at this circle that just shifted again. Only them pretty much inside of it right now.
This brawl
they have
on the
only compound in the circle. Somehow, the speed, I mean, the air have been completely pulled out of the balloon in this match. Everyone's playing it super, super passive.
Yeah.
Ooh, that could
Maybe it's the signs of the last game of the weekend, you know? People want to
maybe that is.
have
You
a
want the
good
extra
finish.
points. Yeah, it could be.
Daku shooting over at Team India. And again, I want to comment on ACR. We're not used to seeing them play from this position, like, at all. This is so different
We're
to
just
what
seeing
ACR
teams playing super passive. I like it. I mean, they're clearly realizing that with the point system the way it is, there's no reasoning going super aggro early on, and it's paying off. Prince now trying to make the run on up, not going to pay off the way that he wanted to. Goes down, and Kratos full push up on towards Gods as well.
Won't be able to get anything done for them, and actually Team India are stuck between ACR and God's Reign. They hold that one building. ACR, they've got Mercy on the outside, which makes me anxious. When you've got an entire building to work from, we've got angles that you can shoot from, like hold from the building, surely. But Kratos, he's not going to be getting up from that. He is fast asleep.
Not a whole lot more coming off of that one. Smoke's being thrown in. Nate's coming in from the sides now as well. Got to watch out. But seems to me like Brawl will be able to get those 2 players up in Godlike. They have 3 vehicles. They just made a car fort. Made that 4 vehicles, actually. Car fort out in the open, and they're just trying to stay alive.
And there's Soul. There is a player up here. Ninja. Can he do something big? I wonder if Soul have recognized that he's there. That looks like it should be the last ISO player.
I really like this play. You've got to get away from that vehicle, though. It's going to explode real soon. That's going to be all you. Dead Soul. You know he's there.
Is he going to get out? Hold the position. He's going to get in the car, and he's going to make a run for it. It's like, come on, I need to get away. But surely Soul are going to just gun him down. I think he could have made such a big play there to hold them off.
The thing with the staircase is that once you get that first guy knocked, that can obscure the entire push for your team up the stairs. So had he been able to just hold it like that you said there, he even had a nade to throw that nade, just spray like a madman, because running away like that ain't going to give you nothing.
Yeah. I feel like that had so much potential, but It's okay. We can move from that.
Yeah.
We've got coming soon. Looking down on Seoul from above, they're definitely the higher point scorers. So at the moment, I definitely favour coming soon. In fact, but who knows? You've got that compound defense. You can hold anything. It depends maybe on the utility. If you've got those frag grenades coming through the window, that could also spark a lot of drama. But it looks like, has it moved away from the compounds?
Well, look at this. I mean, on Vikendi, NIP, they sat in a circle. They sat in circles, pretty much 6 circles in a row. And now they've just been as gifted as you possibly could. Had they had to run just 50 or 20 meters away from where they are right now, they would have been doomed. But the circle just shifted north of the road.
The rest of this is all up in the air. All those teams,
It's just
ACR and so on. I mean, they've got to reformulate another strategy as quick as possible.
Open with capital letters. All these people have to make the run on up, and NIP
Oh my God.
just prone and wait it out.
Oh, Team India, this is going to be really bad for them. There's one player, but there's surely going to be another going down really soon. I think Team India may have gone out.
Yeah, they did.
They're done. ACR have got a couple of players down, but God's Reign are right on the sidelines, so God's Reign surely going to start picking up some kills soon. Seoul, they decided to go for it. They've got vehicles to work with. They're going to make a move. Hedge their bets and with as many vehicles as they can and see if they can get a more central position.
I like the play. I like the play. Desperate times, call for desperate measures. Crash those vehicles and see if you can get something. Mercy, he ain't gonna have none of that against his opponents. He will go down, though, unfortunately, and that is gonna be ACR down and out in 7th place.
Well, ACR definitely trying to put up a fight. At least they had to move into combat just then.
Look at this play from Seoul. Make the most of what you got, and it's in these situations we see the better teams excel. And I mean, this right here, I don't think any, like, at least a solid, I want to say 24 teams in this lobby had not done anything like this.
Do you think they should blow up the vehicles as well?
Oh, obviously not going to be using them ever again. But right now, all you want to focus on just not staying close to them. Or like listen for nades.
Yeah.
Most importantly, because you hear that click, click, click when they hit the ground. Listen for nades. Make sure to like get people away from you and keep those smokes running.
Well, perfect use of utility from them, but we'll see how
Look
it
how many
plays out
smokes they
have. Covering every single side possible,
exactly.
and that should have given them some information too. If they can feed through those angles and find, okay, maybe it's one of these sides clear, then okay, then at least we know where we can put our backs to facing.
Rip has played this one smart as well. We did see India go down a little earlier. They got 4 kills with it, but 7th place was all they could amount to. Rip. No, actually, there are 4 guys alive. 4 guys up. Blow up that vehicle, guys. You ain't gonna use an engine. Thank you. Now 1 guy's shooting at it. Might want to get away from it first, though. It is Seoul and Rip fighting one another.
So there's 2 up for Seoul. Frost, is he alone for Brawl?
No, he has his entire team.
Ah, okay, he's there. He's good.
Everyone is just chilling right now. They did blow up the vehicle. Smart play there. Brawl is going to run further up the hill. He has level 3 vest on, so he can tank some bullets. But as you can see, there's a red on the indicator down there underneath his name. So it clearly has taken bullets already.
Yeah, he hears shots. It's like, I don't want to risk it. I'm going to get down on the floor.
Kind of makes sense too. He has a perfect vision. Like with a 3rd-person angle he gets from up there, you can see pretty much down the entire hill. Whereas so had he been in 1st person, that grass and foliage would have obscured his view.
We've got another move, actually, so the vehicle's never got blown up. Seoul looking to go even more central. Shots coming in, though, from RIP.
They got shifted away from again. Brawl got the better of this one.
Oh, wait, is he going to be able to hold on to that? Again, they're shooting over to the right. Paratosh, though, Ronak manages to find some damage. It's going to be a fair exchange, however. And NIP are just crawling their way forward. RIP as well, now starting to make a move, realize that it's got to happen. The circle is about to start closing in.
It's going to be a tough push, and they cannot let all these other teams beat them to it. What they do hope for, though, is, for example, for NIP and Brawl to start fighting, because that would allow for them to push down up and around the northern side. But I don't think that's going to happen. You see Rip, they're pushing far and fast down forward, and Carry spots them out immediately.
Prince. Did he get taken down? He did. Carry's in trouble. But Marvi, what can you do here?
Just 1 guy alive, Legend on the Rip side, and you got Marvi alone on the side of NIP.
Oof. There's Paratosh. And again, we still have that movement from Seoul.
They're playing it so smart. They're playing it so smart. This is the kind of Seoul I've been wanting to see from day one.
Yeah, and you've got Mortal. Mortal is a player that's down, so he could possibly be making some calls for the team as well. And like in the midst of all that chaos and that solo vision that you have, he can do a lot for them.
Seoul is playing the type of PUBG right now that I'm used to seeing on PC. And it's not to take anything away from the PC player or from the mobile gamers. It's just it's two very different styles that are being brought into the game, both with it being TPP and also because you play different with a mouse and a keyboard than you would with a mobile phone. And Soul is playing it really smart.
And Oasis is actually going to get the elimination on the last RIP player, so we come down to 3 teams at the moment. Brawl, though, still a man advantage against other teams. Soul, so weak. He has got first aids, but he's not prioritizing that for the moment. He's got plenty of time, though, and while you've got time, it's probably when you want to start getting those meds in.
Yeah.
And NIP is following that same strategy. Discipline, discipline, discipline. Don't move too soon, but take it easy along the way.
Brawl have 4 guys up. I'm curious to see how many kills they have, because I don't feel like they have a whole lot. We did hear on day 1 that Brawl was one of those teams that excels on Erangel, and now, I mean, they've been fortunate to sit on the better side of the circle for quite a while. Question is going to be, though, how they're going to play this one. I feel like the team that gets the chance to third party will win this game. So whatever team gets to join in after the fight has already started between the 2 other teams would most likely be the team that will end out on top. And right now, it seems like that team will be on IP.
And again, Ronak using those smokes to just obscure that vision a little bit, get that reposition going in. NIP, I mean, they're more than moving forward. They've got a little bit of leeway, but Oasis and Marvi are almost within touching distance of each other. And oh wait, Marvi is going to find him in the end. He gets the knockdown, he gets the elimination. Now there's only 2 Soul players up, but this is their best... oh no, it's not. It's tying their best performance they had on Vikendi. Can they get one up on what they did previously? Marvi, though, goes down to the grenade of Ronak.
Trying to crawl his way on forward.
Oh,
one spotted out, and that's going to be from the hilltop above. They were not expecting them to be this close. I'm not even sure they know it's a 4-man team in Brawl up here.
Yeah, I wonder if that information is going to strike them soon. Viper might catch Nova King shortly.
4v1, v2. Brawl
Ronak
should have this one in their firm hands. And there you go, 4v1, v1. They only have 3 kills. They've had this position for so long. They know it's a 4v1, v1, and they're still proning and playing it so scared. This is what I'm afraid to see.
Is Ronak? Surely he can't go for it. No, not at all.
He's gone. And Ronak has just been eliminated as well, so it's going to be Sol in third place, and it's going to end straight after that. Frost picks it up for Brawl, and Brawl will be your victors. Picking up a good share of kills at the end, based on what was a previously quiet performance during the map.
Yeah, I mean, they end up just getting 6 kills, and in this game, it's all about... I mean, they seemed like they played with very little info. Now, they were kind of trapped up there for a long while. They could never push down because they had NIP holding down, and all the people in the compound on the other side of the road, well, they had clear vision up there. So there was limited what info they could get. But when you get into those final situations, like final moments of a game, you have to put the numbers together.
Yeah.
We are 4. We can see how many players that are alive. We just knocked 1 on one team. We knocked 1 on another. That means that there has to be at least 1 alive on each team, equals 4v1v1.
Yeah.
It's basic math, and it should be mandatory math to be able to do for a competitive player. And in that situation, you cannot just hide it out in prone like that. You have to go. That's when you have to sort of activate the boosters and get active.
Well, what I like about Brawl is just a story they've had through the weekend. I know people were not too impressed by their performance when we saw them on day 1, but the fact that they can look at the end of this weekend and say, hey, we got the victory that counts. And we also had pretty much all of us alive anyway.
They did.
So 36 points is what they're going to get, as you can see here. Team Sol, they get 2nd place on points, even though they got 3rd on the placements, because they got themselves 9 kills. I think of Ronak and Oasis getting 4 each, 0 for Mortal, 0 for Viper. And Ninjas in Pajamas. I mean, they've been pretty damn solid. 2 victories this weekend, getting themselves a 2nd place in placement.
Starting to wonder whether they're actually signed by NIP.
I mean, these guys are good. These guys are really, really good. And you can see here, ACR. Look at that! Look at that ACR performance there from Kunal. That's awesome from him. 7 kills. Because ACR have been pretty quiet with the fragging. That's a nice way to go out on the weekend and get some. You got some good placement points they got from ACR and some good kill points. Happy days.
Good place coming in from Seoul.
Yeah.
We were skeptic about them. You praised them in the beginning, then they didn't show up.
I praised them too much.
But in this game here, at least to me, they showed what they're capable of. Like they gave me a little bit of faith back in everybody trusting in Seoul, because they did good.
So I feel like positionally they actually had the biggest disadvantage, but they did everything that they could to buy something. You know, they used their utility well. They moved well.
You see the damage comparison here, but I just want to touch on this. Seoul was the only team, when that circle double shifted north of the road there in the end, the only team that was south of the road that made it to the other side.
Mm.
Both the teams, NIP and Brawl, were just proning up there. They weren't doing anything, and they were hiding, and they got 2 circles, hard shifted up towards them. Very little effort needed, while everyone else was fighting. That's why you saw they didn't have a lot of damage, they didn't have a lot of kills, because they were in situations where if we start shooting and everyone knows where we are, we're going to die like that.
Completely.
So they were just hiding it out, but in the other side of things, Seoul fought their way there.
Yeah.
That's how they got 10 kills, right?
So I think absolutely valiant performance from them. We can see all the damage numbers. We're getting some high damage as well from Brawl players and NIP players. A lot of distance travels, as you can see, for NIP, but yeah, I mean, it's been phenomenal. And a bit of a surprise, actually, considering what we saw from Brawl. It's not a team I would have expected to be getting this position come the end of the weekend.
No, I mean, they came in extremely late in this game, at least, to the circle on the eastern side, and they were, as I said, benefited with the 2 very, very, very edge shifts towards the edge they were sitting on. It's kind of a coin toss, but here they got it twice.
Yeah, and it's been a bit up and down for Team India as well, who became military every single time. Do you think you play the odds like that a little bit? I mean, if you never stop going the same spot, is that...
When you play military, you expect not to get the circle. Let me put it that way. I mean, there's no way you're playing military game with the expectation. Oh, with the expectation? That's not a word, by the way. With the expectation of getting the circles towards you.
Yeah,
that's how it is.
That's fair. That's fair. Guys, want to thank Vivo as well, the official sponsor of the PUBG Mobile Club Open. Also, you can check out all of the information on them at clubopen.pubgmobile.com. I think the link is there in the below area. You can head over there. There's so much information for you guys to get on. Check out all of the other regions, the wildcards, EU, NA, everything that you want. And yeah, also, if you're watching on YouTube, if you enjoy the show, hit that follow button, the subscribe button, everything possible, as it's going to be more action. And we are almost at the end of our show.
We are,
Toby.
We are. It's been fun.
It's been a real pleasure. It's been a real treat for me. I've enjoyed every second of it. But there's more action for you guys next week, because these groups are not finished yet.
Not at all.
There's another 12 matches to be played next weekend, and we've got a whole bunch of highlights that we can see from our game just now. This was the strange fight here, actually, with White that went down when it looked like he could have 1v3.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing to me. But I think to go off of that too, to just kind of sum up the entire weekend we've had, it's clear to me that there is a big, is it disparity? Is that the word? Like a big difference in the highs and lows of skills in the Indian PUBG scene. Because when you take, I mean, even in Europe or some of the other regions that on PC are considered some of the better regions, if you take 32 teams, it's hard to have 32 teams that are equally good.
Yeah.
Practically impossible. You can't do that with anything anywhere.
Yeah.
And here, despite me saying that the level is very spread, the average level is still extremely high.
Yes.
And that is super impressive.
Because I still feel like there's a good 7 or 8 of the Indian teams here that are playing at a really sort of decent level, kind of leading the way in that respect. And we've seen a lot of the sort of the winners being involved in that list. And it's almost as if it's hard to even put Seoul in that, just based on the performance that we've seen this weekend. But it's like, even without them, I could put a whole bunch of teams up in this top list.
And that's the thing. I mean, I'm excited to see what whoever makes it into the global finals off of this tournament from India will be able to put off against some of the best guys from the world. It's going to be, they're going to have a, what do you say? I think they're going to have a pretty good chance.
Would you put any names into the mix there at all, or?
There's still so many games to be played. I mean, there's both this and then we have the next round and the round after that. There's so many games to be played, and we've seen some of the really, really good teams have complete blunders of performances where you're like, what the universe just happened? And then you have seen teams that you didn't expect anything from go out and pull off insane performances. So no, I'm not going to throw in any names of me.
I'll throw out some names.
Of course you will. I knew that was why you were asking. It's one of those I will ask you so that you can ask me.
I like it. I get way too much joy from it. I mean,
just
some teams that we haven't seen the last couple of evenings. Teams like Hydra, Evil Big Fellas.
Hydra did play extremely well.
I thought they were absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
And I'm expecting some more from them to definitely be challenging closely in getting to those next stages, getting to those global finals. I mean, NIP have been great. RIP, I think, need to kind of step it up a little bit. I wouldn't really put them in that list just yet. I think God's Reign have been pretty decent. I'd put them kind of towards the bottom end of that. Seoul, I think, because of the hype around and because of their background, you can't discount them at this
Because
stage.
of this last game, I'm not going to discount them at all.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then I'm looking at coming soon, Team India and Skull. I think those are also 3 important teams that we've got to put in this.
I think that's probably 3 of the best team alongside Hydra.
Yeah,
throw in the mix there for sure.
Absolutely. Well, guys, that's it from Toby and myself, Zoot. We won't be seeing you again. There'll be some different commentators over next weekend where the action will start again on Friday. But you guys have been watching the PUBG Mobile Club Open. Have the enjoyable remainder of the weekend, and we'll see you soon.